actually. It's almost 7:10. But welcome, folks, regardless, nevertheless, whatever the case may be. Welcome, my friends. Let me hand it off to D because the progress bar thingamajigger is doing its thing. So go for it, D.
What's going on, everybody? Brains. Thank you for following me over from the pre-show on my channel. This show is also for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here as well. If not, you have to get the flying clock out. Back to you, Freeman.
Good to see you, my friend. I did not remember about your pre-show. Sorry about that. Hope you guys are watching D's show or D's channel, DZombie_745. Please make sure to go and check that out. As always, D holds it down, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, folks, though, to the show. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to, of course, say hello in the chat. It would be really nice to say hello. If you guys haven't said hello before, this is a good opportunity, I would say. I'd like to think that we're a friendly bunch. Of course, but with some exceptions, we're pretty much a friendly bunch. We might eat your brains a bit, but other than that, we're pretty friendly. We'd still, invite you out for coffee afterwards or something. You might probably not know how to talk at that point. It's okay, you're a zombie. It's one big happy family. But in the meantime, do say hello, ladies and gentlemen. Do say hello in the chat, and of course, you're more than welcome to join the panel. It's not some exclusive holier than thou panel or something, but I have basically closed the door a little bit, essentially. So you have to ask nicely. So if you'd like to come on, if you'd like to hop on, if you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. But first of all, don't be a dick. Don't show your dick. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be a fuck pants. Don't do anything that your mom would be embarrassed about. Don't do anything that you would be embarrassed about. Honestly, it seems like it should be without saying, but we've had plenty of people who act out of pocket and oftentimes are really embarrassed later. So don't do that. Don't come on here to start a fight. Don't come on here to start drama or perpetuate drama or rather create drama or whatever the case may be. We're not interested, honestly. Save the drama for your mama, as we discussed earlier, or I guess as we mentioned your mama earlier. Regardless, whatever I'm trying to say, save the drama for your fucking mama. Other than that, though, you are welcome to hop on. Just basically ask nicely in the chat, hey, can I hop on? And who the boss in charge? We have a few, honestly, D and Pip Jim from UK, a couple others. Love for the Plan. We have a few blue names, honestly. I think Get Up Gal is a blue name now. Anyway, regardless, ladies and gentlemen, they can post links very easily. Everybody can post a link, but most of the time it won't be a hyperlink if you're not a blue name. That's just how YouTube does it. Just basically wait until somebody, I'm sure D will be there in the chat or somebody, and if worst comes to worst, I try to check the chat from time to time. So just ask for the link, and if we don't give it, well, basically, how do I put this? If you don't get the link, it's because we didn't see it, most likely. If you ask nicely, there's a pretty much 99% chance we're going to say yes. So if we said no for some reason, we probably just say we probably tell you why. We probably tell you what the reason is. So if for some reason you haven't gotten the link or you can't use it or whatever, just ask again. I need some weed. I have to be honest. I'm in that pre-scatterbrain phase where I'm like, oh, it's time for weed. What's going on with you, D? I'm gonna smoke pretty much the last of my cheetah piss from this kilowatt.
Uh-oh.
You buddy?
Speaking of cheetah piss, but kilowatt first in the chat.
Sounds good.
Chat, green light, green for go. Cheers, bud. I'm smoking on a couple of different things. I'm smoking on that. I forget the name of it. Hold on. It's like a trifecta. It is. Let's see, tag. Jeez, it's not cooperating. Oh, it's Animal Face Off, Animal Mint Face Off, and something else. And then I'm also smoking the other 24 karat gold and Moonbows. And I'm just hanging out, man.
Most variety.
How are you feeling?
Except for variety. Well,
Yeah, man.
it's been several days of ups and downs. I'll be frank. Without getting into specifics, I told you a little bit about some of the ups the last couple of days, so that's progress. But this whole lawsuit thing is really it's really dragging me down. I have to be honest. It's really, really, really shitty vibes. Everybody that I talk to about it, I'm tired of being pitied, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I guess it's nice that people are on my side, so to speak, when I talk about it, but it's also unfortunate to be pitied because it's such a fucked up situation. Whenever I talk about it, people just can't help but be horrified. So it's wearing on me. It's wearing on me in a few different other ways. So and I'm still stuck here in LA because of it. I really, really need to go back. I'm out of weed, basically. I'll be out of weed probably tomorrow. So I gotta either, I don't know, go to a fucking dispensary and overpay for what I said. What did I say the other day? Subway sandwich, basically, quality. I mean, okay, it's not always Subway sandwich quality, but I also don't want to pay for the better stuff. I went to, what was the last show? Wednesday, I want to say. I said I was going to the woods. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any fucking parking in the entire
Oh,
neighborhood. The Woods is in West Hollywood, and West Hollywood especially can get fucking idiotic for parking because all the residential streets, which are most of them, are permit only parking basically. And so there's a couple hours, literally a couple hours on the street where you can park in public. And then anytime that there's like restaurant traffic, evenings, even in the middle of the day, it's permit parking only. And so then you have to find street parking, and there's a fucking 100 clubs there. So yeah, we couldn't go to the woods, so we went to this other one. We have a matchbook right now.
well,
Paradise. It's kind of a funny business. I guess they own like half a city block. It's apparently LA's best sex shop, and they have the same name, Paradise something or other is the sex shop, and the weed club is right next to it, Paradise something or other. And they project like cool images from the sex shop on top of the lights onto the side of the building. It's really slick. It looks really amazing.
right
But
on.
it was a super cool club. Should just go get the matchbook and see what the name is, so I can tell you guys. But the experience was both great and terrible at the same time. I don't know how else to explain it. Um, like it was a great place. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. It was a wonderful fucking place. The vibe was awesome. The staff is spectacular. Like the staff, all of them were chill. They didn't necessarily know that much about weed. I'll be perfectly fucking frank, but their customer service was really good, and it's like a full service restaurant. I don't think they serve alcohol at that one. I think the Woods apparently does sell alcohol, but that one I don't think they do. But they serve like weed cocktails and stuff. Anyway, but they also serve like full food, and it's West Hollywood, so it's not really that cheap, honestly. But the weed, I mean, restaurants have gotten really expensive in general, so it's just can't really complain about that, except for in general, I guess, right? But the weed, it really a little bit annoys me. The situation still kind of annoys me. You're not allowed to bring your own weed, although actually there's nobody stopping you. You could totally bring I mean, honestly, nobody would have probably. Okay, if I whipped out a fucking volcano, give a shit. But like, I whipped out my own blunt that I didn't buy downstairs. I don't think anybody was checking. Nobody was checking receipts or anything like that. Even though there wasn't really that many people there, which again, like, it's bizarre to me that these clubs are so cool, but there's hardly ever anybody there. And I think there's just a real disconnect because the people that could go and smoke a couple joints at a bar and have lunch aren't really the kind of people that are going to go to that particular place because basically my friend and I think we went out probably the better part of $200, $300, honestly, and we didn't get all that much. Like I just had to get an eighth pretty much, and everything that I wanted was literally, it was much more expensive than Oregon. It was, when people talk about the California taxes, they are not fucking joking. An eighth was like $65. 65.
Wow.
I'm not mistaking that. I'm not getting a typo or anything else. Not a quarter. An eighth was $65. I
Holy
haven't seen
fuck.
a $65 eighth in Oregon for 15 years or 10 years at least. The toppest of the top shelf organic shit that comes from like the best possible farms, I've never seen that for more than $45 in Oregon. $47 I think I paid one time, but that was years ago. $65 on average. And mind you, it was not what I would consider the best of the best of the best with honor, sir. It was okay. It was all right. But Where does that come from? The best of the best of the best with honors, sir. That comes from some YouTuber that I watch or something. Anyway, regardless. Oh, it's the fucking Frodo's photo. That's where it comes from. This kind of he's annoying as fuck, but be warned if you ever go watch that guy's channel. I think the channel is no, it's Jared Poland is his name, but he goes by Frodo. He's beyond fucking corny, but there's something somewhat endearing about him. I've kind of stopped watching most of his videos because he is so corny, but he's still pretty charming. If you're new to him, you'll probably enjoy him. His shtick wears off a little bit, but he's still pretty funny. Fuck was I just talking about? I was talking about the weed. The $65 weed was good, like I could easily see myself in Oregon. I could easily see myself buying that at Archive, for example, for I don't even know if it was as good as Archive when I think about it. It was nice and stinky. It was good weed. They had a couple that were fully organically grown, so that actually is something that Archive can't really offer. I think they do sell some organic weed, but Archive themselves, for example, is not organic. I'm just comparing Archive because they're the best dispenser I know of in Oregon. C would be the other one, but THC, some of their best weed is basically Archive. I don't know. I would put it basically, I swear to you, I would put it basically one little step under the top shelf at Archive. Like the stuff that Archive charges like $48. I guess now that I think about it, they charge $48. So I probably have paid 48 because I definitely bought eights from them. So $48, I guess, is the most that I've ever paid. And I would put it below that. I would put it below that tier. I'd put it at like the $42 tier or something. I think they have one there. Anyway, 65 fucking dollars for an eighth, and you're supposed to go downstairs and buy it, and then you literally walk outside and walk around the building, and then it's not really well marked, honestly, to be perfectly frank, but you can find it. It's not hard. Then you walk in, you go inside. I can't remember, was it upstairs or downstairs? It doesn't matter. Super chill place, like honestly, super chill place. But like I was talking to my friend, I was like, when I go to a bar, I don't go there normally with the intention. I mean, there's always an exception, but I don't normally go there with the intention of spending like $250, $300. I'm like, basically, we were going there to go have a couple of drinks, pretty much, just a couple of buddies going to have a couple of drinks. And like normally, I would buy a couple of beers, like I'm not really a cocktail kind of guy, so I don't know, maybe I'd buy bourbon or something. So I'm like, I don't know, if I did buy bourbon, $50 per person or something, maybe we get some snacks. So $100. Well, Jesus Christ, 250, $300 just to smoke a couple of joints. It's a weird experience. I don't know. It's not the kind of thing that I would do that often. And I could visibly see, like we went there, on Wednesday night? It's not the most happening night in LA, but I mean, shit, it's still hump day. Like a lot of people go out on Wednesdays, and it was not dead, but it was pretty close to dead, honestly. We had like the whole smoking room basically to ourselves. At the very end of it, this one dude sat down, really friendly guy we got to talking to, but a tourist from the UK. But dude was blitzed off his fucking tits by the blunt that he tried to smoke like maybe a quarter inch off of. He bought this very ambitiously. He bought this blunt of strawberry cough that, to its credit, actually smelled vividly strawberry, like a bowl of strawberries. It was really good because he had to smell it. But yeah, he couldn't have smoked more than a quarter inch of this thing. His eyes were all glazed over and red.
Wow. That'd be too much for me, I think. Strawberry cough, I just taking a cup.
It was sorry to see the show's for just because I'm already talking about just finished my thought. The show is for conversational purposes, so it kind of requires you to hop on and join the conversation. Tell us if you have any experience rather with weed clubs around the world. They have a few of them here in LA. I guess a few others in the Bay Area and a few other places around California. So it's very unusual for me because honestly, most of our weed clubs in Oregon have closed down. Oh my gosh, now I think about it. Shout out to Kenny. None of you will know him, but one of the most friendly guys at they called it the Crow Club, the Northwest Cannabis Club. I just dropped weed in the fucking.
There you go.
So the Northwest Cannabis Club in Portland basically was a place that with a membership, on a membership, you could go there and you could smoke pretty much every day until midnight. And once you had the membership, I can't remember, did they charge you to come in if you had the membership? I think it was like $5 or something. I honestly don't remember if it was $5 without the membership or with the membership was free. I can't remember. But long story short, you could get in there for not a lot of money, and you could bring your own weed. So it was bring your own weed because they weren't allowed to sell it. I'm sure they would have been very happy to sell it to you, but they weren't allowed to. And so all they could really sell to you was like snacks and stuff. Anyway, it was a really cool spot. It's been turned into now a country music spot, which seems so unusual, but the only one in Portland, so I'm sure they do really well. But yeah, the club closed down, gosh, I think before COVID. Uh, Kenny Varner, I think is his name. Now it's not a big deal to say his whole name because he's passed away. Unfortunately, the guy was very, I was very surprised to see it on Instagram today. I don't know how young, but young, basically, probably mid 20s. Anyway, one of the guys you can imagine, he was one of the main helpers at the club, actually. And he would oftentimes check your ID. He was probably 90% of the time, he was the guy that would check your ID. My tasting group that is now basically all but defunct, essentially, but I hope to bring it back, right? I got my start there, basically. I was inspired by my friend Canadian, who had his garden club, the Canadian Garden Club, in the basement of the so-called Crow Club, and Kenny helped out with that all the time. He got free seeds from Cannabizian, and I think he actually grew some of them because Kenny was a weed nerd just through and through, honestly. And when I got my little hankering to do my own group, basically, I kind of based it on my friend Cannabizian's group, and then also here in LA. Although I haven't checked if they're still going, they were still going as of a couple of years ago. The LA Scotch Club, run by this cool guy named Andrew. Anyway, he had a really, even for such a kind of a highbrow thing as Scotch, he had a very approachable vibe. It was very kind of a not necessarily blue collar, but it was very not snooty at all vibe. And I really don't like snooty clubs and exclusive pinky lifting bullshit, even if it is for cannabis or weed or I mean for scotch or wine or anything, right? I don't think there's any reason to be snotty about basically anything in life. Anyway, fucking digressing. Uh, I basically started with my little group at the cannabis club, and Kenny was one of the first people to be really excited about it. He would always come downstairs and smoke with us because we met basically downstairs. Uh, uh, yeah, he'd always come take a puff. He'd always check if we needed something. Anytime we needed to fix something, a few times we had, because as the club got bigger, or rather as my group got bigger, we had some logistical problems from time to time, whether it was getting the kitchen set up or fucking electrical or you name it, honestly. And Kenny was always happy to help. And sometimes we'd tip him with weed, but he was just always happy to help, honestly. And mind you, he wasn't making a ton of money or something. It's not like he was a salaried employee with whatever. I'm sure they were paying him minimum wage, probably, right? And tipping him maybe with occasional joint or something. Anyway, Kenny was cool. Kenny was a real cool guy. I had a lot of problems with that cannabis club, especially with the management, but I would never, under any circumstances, blame Kenny. He was a really chill guy, and so it's really, honestly, a sad thing to think that he passed away. Suddenly passed away. That's all they said. But when a young person suddenly passes away, a lot of times it's not. Uh, it's usually too early. So anyway, I guess I'll smoke this one in honor of Kenny. And I didn't actually plan on this show being a melancholy one, but it got me thinking when we were talking about clubs and stuff. Anyway, cheers to Kenny and cheers to all the other folks, honestly, that we've lost over the years. There's been quite a few.
Yeah, man.
Pretty sure have passed away, and there's a few that I know, and a few that I just assume because they vanished off the face of the earth. So, anyway, let's smoke one for those guys.
Right on. Right on.
Do you think Matthew McConaughey says "right on, right on, right on" every time he lights a joint?
Right on, right on, right on. Maybe. Who knows?
I bet he
You got a joint,
does.
man. Be a
Pardon?
lot cooler if you did. What's that, Fume?
That's right. Be a lot cooler if you did. I was gonna say, Woody Harrelson is not the only owner of the Woods. Apparently, he owns it with Bill Maher. Who's another
Really?
cannabis person. Bill Maher's
Interesting.
really gotten on my last nerve, though. I used to like him, but he's just a contrarian for the fucking sake of it. He does like his weed, though.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Cheers, hardcore, Grant.
Big time stoner.
I'm saying.
Who's that other chick? Fuck, I don't watch that much TV. I was about to say Chelsea Manning, not that one. Although I don't know, maybe Chelsea Manning is a stoner. Chelsea Handler, I believe she's a big time stoner as well.
True. He's up. Oh. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so long story short, one after another, the cannabis clubs in Portland, not that we had that many of them, but we had three or four, and one after another, they've closed down. There was this one place over on 82nd that I never got a chance to go to because apparently it had basically closed without permanently closing for a long time, and then finally they just never reopened. But I guess the city gave them just a ration of shit every single fucking day they were around. Northwest Cannabis Club somehow stayed open. Flight Lounge has been open, closed a fucking million ass times. I think they're still open in some capacity right now, but they had three joints. Now they're down to one, I think.
Mhm.
Pretty rough times in Oregon. So really interesting to see how much more liberalized it is here in California. Even if, like I say, it's essentially a high end experience. You really basically can't, like at the cannabis club, you didn't have to spend a lot of money. You honestly had to spend your $5 entry fee or whatever it was, and you could bring your own weed, and that was it. You could go hang out with your friends for $5, and so you could see Kenny and Boomer and what was the chick's name? Gosh, it's been so many years that I forget a lot of these people's names. Anyway, all the people that used to be there, you guys would know most of them anyway, right? But you'd see them hanging out after work, whatever, sometimes before work, right? Because there was a few nurses, so sometimes they go in for a graveyard shift and basically dab up beforehand. Hopefully, they didn't have to do any cardiology or something, right? But or neurosurgery or some shit. Fuck was I going to say? No, it was a chill place, honestly, and I wish there were more places like it. It struggled in the sense that it was difficult for them really to make a normal living because, I mean, a bar sells you alcohol, right? So when you go there to meet your friends and whatever else, they can sell you a beer, they can sell you a glass of wine, they can sell you a cocktail, they can sell whatever the fuck, milk, you know? But that place, I think they could have gotten a regular restaurant license, and that was basically on them for not doing it because they would have raked in a bunch of club full of stoners that are hungry. Like frequently, people were like, "Why don't you guys have food, bro?" And they'd have chips and stuff. But I mean, like literally, like if they could have, I
Mhm.
mean, shit. These days, it's easy. Fuck me. You can buy these Uni pizza ovens. They're not the only one that you can get, but they're like these portable pizza ovens that you can power apparently with anything, wood, gas, coal, whatever the shit if you want to.
Coke.
And they had a backyard. They had like a back deck. They could have easily set up a pizza oven and just run out pizzas and calzones all day, every day. They could have made a mint. But yeah, whatever. Who knows? Maybe their circumstances were more difficult. Anyway, um, I'd love to see more of that kind of place. But at the same time, the most logical solution is some version of a place that can just sell you a joint or sell you a bowl. And here's the thing, like we growers, like we can smoke a joint. But fuck me, even my stoner friends, even my weed friends, they just look at me like I'm a space alien when I stand there and I smoke a whole joint to myself because they'll smoke a puff and just get bleary eyed, right? The other day at the weed club, my friend bought a 100 milligram bottle of weed peach cocktail or some shit. I don't think it had any alcohol. It had all kinds of different weed in it. Anyway, CBN and THC and whatever the fuck CBD. Anyway, when he was buying it, he was like, "Oh, 100 milligrams, is that too much?" Or I can't remember how he said it. What's your tolerance? And is it lower than that or higher than that or something? I was like, "No, I'll be fine," because like he doesn't know that I can easily eat like 1,000 milligrams, 2,000. When I told him that, he was like, "Wait, what? Say it again." Like his eyes went wide. Like, say again, 2,000, because he'll eat five and get ripped off his shit, right? And several friends of mine, literally, they'll have to break 5 milligram gummies in half so that they don't wake up stoned. Oh my God, it's comical the differences in people's tolerances. Speaking of which, we haven't said hello to anybody, although that's not a very good segue. Hey, we haven't. Oh, you're doing Weed and Whiskey Wednesday. Congratulations, Captain 420. Good to see
Well,
it.
I missed Wednesday, so I figured, might as well hit it.
That's what she said.
I feel like going and get some whiskey to share it with me. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna still
Huh?
go to
If
the
you're
store.
here, I have plenty of bottles.
That's right. Oh, you probably won't be. Well, maybe you will be on if I come back because I got to leave. I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock or so, and then probably won't be back until I don't know, 10:30 or 11 or something. Yeah, you guys probably won't be here, but we'll see. Anyway,
Tonight has to be an early night for me. I've got I may turn the camera around. I've got three large size tubs to go through. I got asked to come out to the National Sports Card Convention here in Cleveland tomorrow morning and to bring some stuff. So we may get paid.
oh
Nice.
wow, that's fun.
Right on.
Yeah, I've got a really nice copy of Kobe Bryant's 81 point game. I've got LeBron's first game here in Cleveland, ticket stubs to take and get graded. And I've
Nice.
got some graded cards that I took the $150 price sticker off, and we're gonna go get a couple grand tomorrow for that card.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck, I can't believe at the prices these cards have gone up. The $23,000 that I got for everything, I would have been better off to pay the $15,000 to store the shit. Because I had 4 boxes of basketball, 88, 89 Fleer. And that was Pippen's rookie and Reggie Miller's rookie and Dennis Rodman rookie. Yeah, they're only like $18,000, $20,000 a box now.
Wowza.
Yeah, mine were graded 9.5s.
Hmm.
But hey,
Right
who
on.
knew? Who knew COVID would come in and pretty much shit can everything and send the
Oh,
prices
so
through the roof?
you were not clear. Did you lose those boxes or what?
No, to move to Thailand, my house was my mom fucked me. She put my house in her trust fund. So in case I did something in Michigan, growing too many plants or whatever, they really couldn't take the house.
Hmm.
And when I paid off the house to her after 3 fucking years, it never got put in my name. It stayed in the trust. So yeah, I had to sell. What I wanted to do was have one of the companies come out and literally wrap the house and wrap it for 2, 3, 4 years while I went to Thailand in Asia, because I had the money to do that for 3, 4 years and not worry about it.
What do you mean wrap the house? Like cellophane wrap the house?
Well, they've come out with this plastic like they have for boats, and they put it on the house and they heat shrink it.
No shit.
Yeah. It costs quite a bit, but you're saving your roof, you're saving the side of your house. You know,
What, you do this when you leave the house for a few years or some shit, or what?
yeah, I would just seal it up.
I was gonna say, who else seals their fucking house? Like, you wouldn't seal a house for the winter or something, or is that what they do? They seal it for the winter and they unseal it in the spring or some shit.
Well, I would just seal it because I'm not coming back for 2, 3, 4 years, and I want the cops to know someone's been in my house.
Sounds like a boat. Sounds like you're wrapping a boat for winter.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Package or some shit. I don't know.
It's shrink wrap.
A Christmas present for yourself or something.
Big red
Yeah.
bow.
Never thought about shrink wrapping a house for a few years. Imagine a few years when they like 3D print houses and stuff. They'll be able to just like pick up your house with a crane and then take it to like the house storage place and be like, all right, we're gonna store this house for a few years in a climate controlled environment, and there are termites, whatever. And then when you're ready to use your house again, they'll drop it off with a helicopter. Here's your house.
Drones.
Some
But then it
shit.
was drones.
Yeah, right. Anti-gravity drone or something.
Yeah.
I just noticed my light is crooked.
Logo you got there, Smash. It's almost like spaghetti western / Grateful Dead-esque something. Oh, we can't see all of it.
Speaking of, did you hear the sad news?
What's that?
Oh shit, what's this? I can't remember the Captain, help me out. What was the gentleman's name that passed away from the dead?
That passed away.
Didn't
Oh,
someone
Brent,
yeah,
but Brent passed away like 30 years ago.
Oh shit, okay. Never mind.
No,
Have
it
you
was
heard the news
just
about Jerry?
it was just my way to, say, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Because
The
he
way it was
had
written,
he had passed away the day that he passed away was the other day. It just happened to be what 24 33 years ago of a drug overdose.
oh shit. Eh?
Yeah, Brent Midland died. The Grateful Dead have a hard time with keyboardists. Pigpen died. A couple of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Okay.
tough gig.
I would think with the name Pigpen, they probably did a lot of drugs.
He was a big drinker. He didn't
Maybe he just
like
really likes bacon smashed. What, you're judgmental? Shit.
I just think
Pigpen
There's
went out with Janice before Jerry did.
I should not lost my train of thought.
Janice definitely believed in free love.
eating Chinese food from a nice spot. They have like hibachi at this place.
Oh, that reminds me, I had
need
the best fucking Chinese last week, Smash, or when earlier this week, I guess. Like on
Holy
Monday.
cow.
It was I went to Feng Mao, I think it's called, and basically
holy cow.
I showed a little bit on my Instagram. I showed the little sizzling lamb. Basically, it's Feng Mao lamb kebab. Lamb is not the only thing they sell there, but I got the lamb because it's fucking lamb. Lamb kebab. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I ordered the lamb skewers. I can't remember how many they give you, like 12 or some shit. And they're seasoned and marinated basically in
You put them on fire.
turmeric, sesame, cumin mix. Basically, what's that? I couldn't hear what you guys said.
And so then you just like throw it. They have like a little grill, and you just grill it in front of you.
100%. It's like this self-moving grill. If you basically put the skewers have little gears on them, and if you put it in the gears, it'll automatically move back and forth. It's so fucking funny. And there's a hood above you. Although mine kept flashing over, the waiters were actually genuinely concerned because, like, I don't know, there's like a bunch of oil, but somehow I had the Irish or something because I didn't get splattered with hot burning oil. But in the meantime, oh my god, one of the best fucking meals. They give you all these different sort of what do you even call them? Appetizer condiments, kind of pickled ginger and roasted peanuts, and what else was there? Some seaweed and da 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 da. And then I ordered a couple other things too, like onion pancakes. And I ordered too much doughy stuff. I got onion pancakes and also what else did I get? Noodle soup. I got a Chinese noodle soup.
Oh,
Probably should have gotten like beef and broccoli or something to kind of
beef
break.
and broccoli.
But fuck, it was delicious. Oh my absolute fucking fuck, it was
Oh, very good now.
expensive though, so I don't know if I'm gonna go back there before I leave. But it wasn't that expensive. But it was like for one person, it was like pretty close to $50, I think. Or it was $50, I think, with the tip. So I was like, it's a bit. Uh, um, and it wasn't like I did have some leftovers, but it wasn't like I had next day you eat for free or no, nothing like that. I think I had like a snack in the morning or some shit. Basically, it was spectacular. Honestly, like to take a date there or something. Holy shit! If you're in LA, oh my god, go to that place. Spectacular. And I kept going to the one on. Ran third or whatever, doesn't matter. And they were technically open, but they'd always, every time, like 3 times I go there, and every single time they'd sent their chefs home. So I'm like, why are you open? Why don't you just close? You know, in my head, I'm just like, but you're open, but you're not open. Like as soon as you walk in, the waitress stands up and she's like, oh, sorry, all the freaking chefs are gone. Anyway,
Oh,
so
chefs are gone. You go
Hey,
back.
the original one over on Olympic, and they actually sat me and stuff. It's fucking amazing.
They're God.
Come to Cleveland, buddy. I'll show you some restaurants in Little Italy that are like that.
They got deported.
No, they didn't get deported. They just don't serve food.
Or are they just fronts?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
And
place in
an
Portland.
old guy sits out front with, and like a chef's apron on, and he just sits outside and drinks wine all day. And other, paisans stop by.
Yeah, there's a restaurant in Portland, in Southeast, that for literally 15, 20 years, because they opened a long time ago, they never have customers, never, throughout the day. It's at a really prominent intersection, so I've driven by there throughout the day for years and years and years and years, sometimes 2, 3 times a day, because like I said, a really prominent intersection. And there's always these pretty high-end cars, not supercars or anything, but like pretty luxurious Mercedes with wraps and special rims and shit, like definitely an AMG and stuff. So it's definitely like premium Mercedes, even like premium cars basically, and never any fucking customers for 15 years. And it's an ethnic kind of food, and I really like this particular ethnic food. So I go there. I tried to go there from time to time until I just kind of got the message that it's not really a restaurant. And every time I'd go there, I'd be the only person there. And literally, like the staff would just kind of look at me surreptitiously from the corner to see what I was doing.
White boy.
As I was eating. It's fucking ridiculous.
What you want, white boy?
Yeah, right.
I was in an area last night like that to see Warren Haynes, and I didn't have a ticket, and I went down, and yeah, I lived up the street from this place. It's literally called Ohio City. It is the nearest West Side you can be in ghetto.
West Side.
But they put this beautiful pavilion there. And while I was standing out front, one of my friends has moved up in the sound business here in Cleveland. And he's seen me out front. with my finger in the air, waiting for a miracle. And he says, "Oh shit, come on with me. There's 600 open seats to this show."
I think Billy Strings is in Boston. Marshall's out there right now.
That's where I'd be.
What is it about Billy Strings that everybody's freaking out so much about? I've listened to
Have
him.
you ever heard him play guitar?
Delightful. No, he's delightful. Don't get me wrong. His music is delightful. But there is literally like 100 or 200 other bluegrass guitarists that are just like him, wouldn't you say?
No,
Do you think
no,
he's
not. I think he's a pro. I won't call him a prodigy. I'll call him the next Derek Trucks, though, as far as like old blues music goes, where Derek Trucks is more innovative in his music, besides, very technical. Billy Strings is very technical in his strumming, and he just plays the old songs that no one does. And he does them really well. And he's got,
Well, yeah, I
the
don't think
stand-up
nobody plays.
bass.
A lot of people play those songs, though, Captain. I think there's a lot of bluegrass. I discovered a lot of really cool acts when I bought this really chill microphone from. It's made in Portland. I haven't really showed them on the show anything because I had all this clusterfuck garbage in my life, right? And so I've just been kind of trying to survive, frankly, for the last 8 months, 9 months. But I have this really chill microphone that's made in Portland, and I thought it would be really fun for my show and for a different kind of version of a podcast that I wanted to do. And I've actually ironically filmed or recorded a few episodes, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. Anyway, this company primarily basically sells to bluegrass musicians. I mean, it's not a big secret what the company is. It's Ear Trumpet Labs. And if you look them up, basically, I think it's eartrumpetlabs.com. Like all kinds of bluesy, folksy, bluegrassy musicians. Andra Day, you name it, a bunch of different. Elvis Costello, I think, is on there. Bunch of different people. Anyway, it was super fun because just researching which microphone I wanted, researching the microphones a little bit. First time I heard him was on a Tiny Desk concert on NPR. I don't even remember who was playing, but anyway, I saw him. I was like, "Oh, that's a chill microphone. What the fuck is that?" I wanted to know more. And so as I learned more, I was like, "What? They're made in Portland? No fucking way!" Da, 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 da. And they have all these cool videos of acts popping by. It's probably buy a microphone or something, or get theirs tuned with a hammer or some shit. And they do little recording sessions. It's really fun to listen to those songs. Anyway, they play a lot of old songs. I don't even remember the acts. There's this brother and sister, and they play like exclusively 1920s bluegrass, and like it says on their website. And anyway, I don't know. I'm not trying to argue with you, Captain, but I'm always puzzled by. It's not to say Billy Strings is bad or something. I'm not going to say that at all. But I'm just like, why is he the fucking golden god? You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of other people that are also spectacular. Is he just that much better? I don't know. I've listened to him.
It's the energy that he brings, I think, that really gets people, because when he plays, everybody moves. And I really think he's not just bluegrass. He's a lot of blues, old blues.
Okay. I guess I've mostly been bluegrass.
Yeah. You should hear him play the electric guitar. Holy shit.
He is a good guitar.
Go ahead.
There are better acts, but he struck a nerve with that Dead community, and they follow him. Just like the Dead almost.
Oh, so that's probably what it is, basically, more than anything, that the Dead basically, the whole.
Pretty much co-signed with the Dead. Like that.
Yeah. He's like a fellow traveler with the Dead. That makes more sense.
You have to understand that he wrote a song and produced or performed a song at like 11, 12, 13 years old. That's how long. He's not that old himself. I
Um,
mean, right before I went to Thailand, he didn't have any tattoos on his arms. Now he's got tattoos on both arms all the way up.
if you're ever looking for a guitarist, a really technical guitarist, his name's Andy McKee,
Jimmy
and he
Herring.
just plays some of the most beautiful music in the most unorthodox way you can play a guitar.
I have to be honest, that stuff really leaves me cold. I remember a friend of mine was a guitar major, basically, guitar student. And I liked his playing actually because he had a very sort of jazzy classical style, honestly, but even with electric guitar and stuff. But he would listen to a lot of Joe Satriani, and he even convinced me to buy a Joe Satriani CD years ago. I haven't listened to it for like fucking 20 years. But very technically impressive, but it's basically trained monkey shit. I have to be honest. I don't know. This is my opinion, of course. Everybody is different, and many people really love the ostentatious performances. But I don't care which instrument it is, if it's a violin or a guitar or a fucking piccolo trumpet. Doesn't goddamn matter. When the entire point of it is basically peacocking, I lose interest basically because there's like technical ability is a dime a dozen. People assume that it's somehow super rare, but you can get it through talent, you can get it through hard work, you can get it through a combination of both. It's not that hard to find technical prowess, but the ability to use it tastefully is a little bit different. Eddie Van Halen is a good example of using technical prowess tastefully, I would argue. And actually, that segues into what I was going to talk about just a second ago. Bud Kilowatt's not on the show yet, but we've talked about all the time. We've talked about this diner that we both love, Cantor's. Once upon a time, apparently it used to be called Cantor's Brothers, but I guess now it's just Cantor's because I guess the brothers are no longer alive or something. Anyway, it's been around since forever. I think it's 19. I just literally looked it up a couple days ago. Let's call it 1930 something. 1931. I think 1931. But anyway, they used to be in Boyle Heights, which was basically more. I think still to this day, it's a very ethnic part of LA, southeast of
Isn't it kind of
downtown.
artsy?
Pardon?
Isn't it Boyle Heights kind of artsy?
I think so. I think it's one of the few remaining little bit cheaper places in LA. I mean, LA is not cheap in any stretch of the imagination, but there's some places that are still a little bit more affordable, and I think it's one of them. Famously, a lot of the communities that used to be Jewish, Black, and I think also it was another specific race, Filipino maybe. I don't quote me on this. Basically, all got uprooted basically because who did it? The feds, I guess. Anyway, they were putting in freeways, and they literally put in freeways all the way around Boyle Heights. If you look up the map, basically downtown is completely encircled because it's fucking downtown, and Boyle Heights, go figure, is completely encircled with freeways,
Yeah,
different
I've
ones.
actually seen pictures of that. It's kind of insane. It's like a city, almost like an island in a concrete ocean.
Yeah, a little bit, honestly. But in building those freeways, basically, they of course tore up a lot of historic houses because it used to be just streets. Basically, it was just a grid street system. LA has always been this really like grid-oriented planning place. It's actually quite like deceptively simple. There's a real beauty to it. Like neighborhoods are named after specific streets. So Silver Lake is named after Silver Lake Avenue, or Los Feliz, Los Feliz Boulevard, I guess it is. Hollywood after Hollywood Boulevard, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Santa Monica after Santa Monica Boulevard. Like it's really easy to find things. It's really easy to figure out where something will be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, fuck was I trying to say? But when they built a lot of those freeways, they tore up either through eminent domain or otherwise a lot of ethnic communities. And so, for example, the Jewish community that had been primarily in Boyle Heights moved to the Fairfax district. And still to this day, arguably, although it's gotten less, even in my time here, I've seen it go from, like I used to call Fairfax Jew Avenue. It was up and down. It was kosher delis and supermarkets, Jewish supermarkets, and synagogues and everything else. And probably 80% of them have closed. Honestly, Bud wasn't wrong. Like most of them have closed. one of the few that's remaining is Cantor's that moved from Boyle Heights to Fairfax, and they moved there like in the 1950s, basically, when they put the
It's
freeways around Boyle Heights. Anyway, let me finish my thought real quick, Smashed. The funniest thing about Cantor's is that it has a restaurant and it's like a
And a
diner,
bar.
but it's 24 hours and a bar right next to it. And here's the funniest part of it, that several world famous bands have started there, from Guns and fucking Roses to arguably Van Halen to a few other ones I don't even fucking remember. And I was talking to one of the waiters the other day. I was like, wait, that's live music, right? I was just eating there. I was super late. I was so tired. I was like barely awake essentially. And I was like, wait a second, is that live music over there? And he's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we got to talking. He's like, oh, just a couple days ago, a couple people from Van Halen were here with a party. And I was like, what the fuck?
I love their pancakes, by the way.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh, is that Bud
a
there? Oh,
couple.
no, it's right here. Is that
I
decent?
think a lot of America learned from Massachusetts to so if you look at Boston's grid compared to like New York, Boston doesn't really have straight roads. They paved over a lot of the cart paths and stuff, and they're winding through the streets. If you look at New York, it's straight lines.
They
Uh,
should almost be like a cartwheel type thing. There should be a center, and they should go out every so often from that center.
Oh, Paris is. That's how Moscow is. A few
Yep.
of your, sir.
um, it's interesting to see. Like, I've been to a very like prominent Jewish community, and it was like Orthodox Jews, not like the curls and all the stuff. And it's pretty interesting how like the Italians, how like they
You
have
could
their own
actually,
little section.
believe it or not, by the way, to interrupt you, a better name, arguably, for what you're talking about, because they're not necessarily all Orthodox, because Orthodox is a specific thing.
Hebrew.
Some of them, no, Hebrew is probably not the right word for them, but Haredi Jews, you could call them. Most of them, especially in Israel, for example, they call themselves Haredi Jews, which essentially encompasses the all the different Orthodox ones. Anyway, just kind of a fun fact. Go for it, Smash. I sorry to interrupt you.
Thank you. By the
Although
way,
a
I
rabbi
learned.
on TikTok, and it's pretty interesting some of the laws they really like they follow. Um, During certain times of the month, they shut down their electricity. They can only have people really help them.
On Sabbath, yeah.
It's pretty interesting. But anyway, I love how when like I don't know if you go to like an Italian community or like a Jewish community, it feels still to this day if it's a really solid community, it just feels different. Everyone
Oh
knows,
yeah.
everyone knows each other. Everyone says hi. People are stopped and talked on the street. Like on a nice day out, you can walk to the store, and it's like there's not much crime because it's just such saturated with like the Jewish people, the Italian, or the Irish people. It's pretty interesting to see.
More of
You
that kind of
also have,
community, I think. Yeah. Good.
you also have to understand this, that there's just not, how can I say this? I'm just gonna come out and say it, guys. I'm sorry, but you have in Boston, I know this for a fact, you have your Jewish mafia, you have your Irish mafia, and you have your Italian mafia.
Uh, yes, the Irish don't really have a stranglehold anymore.
Not anymore, but back in the 60s, 70s, they were pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was all because if you ever watched the Whitey Bulger movies, it's a pretty fucked up story. Um, but if you go down to like Rhode Island, I don't fuck around in Rhode Island. Rhode Island is like a safe haven for the Italians. I'll put it that way.
I went to Little Italy, and I haven't been to Little Italy in 16, 17 years. And the people I knew are, taking over the parents'
Picturing this
business,
shit.
and they put a lot of money into that area to rejuvenate it, because the just up the or down the road from it is where the Cleveland museums are at, the art museum and everything else.
Wonder who took over the Irish's spot? Albanians.
I'll tell you who took them over here,
The
but I won't
Albanians,
say it.
even in little Italy, like the north end of Boston, the Albanians have a pretty good like chokehold on real estate and stuff.
I
They're
was
pretty
in
big in
Little
Europe
Italy
too,
for
for Germany and stuff.
I was
Oh
in
yeah, the
Little
Albanians.
Italy for a festival, and I seen a couple people hung from the street lights.
Oh, wow.
I went to go see fireworks tonight
Yeah,
too. That's funny.
Sicario. You guys ever seen that movie Sicario?
I
Yeah.
haven't. Is it good?
And it's spectacular.
You'll have
It's
to watch.
by Villeneuve, the same guy that made Dune, or as the Australians would say, June. But it's actually surprisingly only like 8 or 9, maybe 9 years ago, I want to say, maybe like 2015 that he made it. Somehow you think it's like, oh, 15 years ago. No, it's like not even 10 years ago. Anyway, Benicio del Toro, he's actually the Sicario. So the movie is basically about him. Josh Brolin, Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt is basically the conscience of the movie. She's the audience or whatever. Anyway, it follows essentially the radical escalation of the cartel's violence in Mexico and the U.S. response basically to some really freakish violence. Anyway, really interesting and spectacularly filmed story. The gunfights and stuff. Spectacular.
Different. They have no problem offing you. They run.
Oh, more than that. No, more than that. I guess I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's worth not spoiling that movie. So Benicio del Toro's character is motivated by a pretty spectacular family crisis, you could say. It's probably not that hard to guess what it might have been, but goodness fucking gracious. And like Captain says, bodies hanging up on the streets and on bridges and stuff. Messages left by the cartel, basically. The spectacular violence is the point. It's basically meant to cower their enemies, to frighten anybody that might want to be a rival, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And goodness fucking gracious, are they violent? Yeah.
I think they just called El Chapo his right-hand man recently.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
what was it? Actually, more than that, they got his son. It looks like from the outside,
They got his
looking
son
in,
too.
they got his son, and it looks like they got his son to cooperate to the point that he fooled another big, I guess basically one of the right-hand men that was running the show in Mexico, or at least the cartel, to fly up to the U.S. and literally get arrested. Really a spectacular story. So
Another good movie is The Irishman. That's about the Irish mob here in Cleveland.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. That's with Al Pacino. That was a Scorsese movie, right?
God, it's been so long. I can't tell you.
I think it was made for Netflix about 5 years ago or so. You haven't seen it yet.
But
Hardcore.
yeah, the fireworks are awesome. But you don't hear about Cleveland being, like that. But Cleveland was more of business and pretty much shot calling. I will say that, when the Grateful Dead came into play, they didn't unload their equipment. The union did that. And it was an Italian union.
So I keep hearing about Cleveland style this and that on like what is it, Food Los Angeles or some shit on Reddit. Anyway, people keep talking about like Cleveland style chili, Cleveland style burgers. Like, what is? Do you guys have your own style of chili, or was it? What is? I know you guys have those bizarre backwards burgers. Apparently, the Ohio style, where like for unexplained reasons, you just literally flip everything inside out, essentially. But
I haven't lived in Cleveland since 2008,
okay.
basically.
Is it because of the weird foods that you left? You basically are a food exile.
No, I
Yeah,
moved to
no.
California, and then the state of Illinois put me up for quite a few months, and then I moved back to my mom's house for shit. It took me almost 6 months to find my house in Michigan, and then I moved to Michigan in
you misplaced it,
2011.
or did they move it with a helicopter like we were talking about?
Or did they?
Yeah.
Or
No,
could
I
you not
finally
find it?
found one. I found one that was owned by the bank, and the day that I went to take a look at it, the realtor called me up and said they dropped it to the 19.9. I said, I don't even need to be in it. Bring the papers.
Did you say not even $20,000?
Yes, it was $23,000 with taxes.
No wonder you could pay it off in 3 years. I was like, Jesus, you're talking about 3 year payoff like it's such an onerous thing, but that makes more sense.
And
Right
I'm
on.
selling like 400 or 500 clones a month.
Did you did you get one of those houses that they're like, buy this house in Illinois for $10? Did you get one of those kind of houses? What?
No, I got a foreclosure.
Yeah, you got a bank auction. So
But still,
lost
for
their
20 grand, like
Nope,
it's gonna be
I didn't bid
that.
against anybody. This was just on the market as a foreclosure in 2011. Like I said, it took me 6 months to find a house, guys. You know, I was going up there every weekend, spending Friday, Saturday, Sunday out looking at houses in different areas. And everybody joked because I told them I was moving to Flint. Well, I was actually moving to Durand, and it's Michigan's largest switchyard with 14 miles of track. But the Amtrak stops there. And I could see the Amtrak station off from the side of my front porch. But I had a 2,500 square foot house, 4 bedroom.
Is it like, what's the condition? Is it like decent or what?
There were people living in it when I bought it, so I never did anything except I had a branch fall off the tree, and it came through the bathroom roof. So I had to replace the roof there.
range coming through your roof.
Oh, you mean you had like
yeah.
you had like renters or something living there, not like
No,
squatters.
I had like an 8-inch tree branch come through the roof of my house in my bathroom.
No, but I mean the people
And
that were living there, were they squatters or were they tenants?
they were tenants. They couldn't make the payment anymore.
Probably lost the house.
Mhm.
They did. And I was really sad at it, but you know what? I don't feel bad about it. But when whoever did the addition on the back of the house, yeah, if I would have kept the house, I would have probably had to tear that off and redo it, because we had to redo the whole roof above the bathroom and make a different pitch, a different angle, because the way the water was running off, it wasn't running off properly. So we were having some problems there. But me and the guy re-angled and reshaped the roof and never had a problem after that. But I guess when I sold the house, they found a little bit of mold in the back of it, in between the walls. And I said, yeah, I kind of knew that was there. That's why I put a hole in the wall right there so it could breathe.
What's the occasion, hardcore? Just Saturday?
We just had our 4th of July. Well, the town over does a celebration. They did it tonight too.
Oh,
That's where I was at.
Was it because of they were afraid of the rain? Because I know a few here in Cleveland, they were afraid of the rain and everything, so they postponed them.
No, this one's usually a couple weeks after the 4th of July. Those are some big ones.
that's
That's
what
a
she
Yeah,
said.
sweet-
no shit.
We had a 17-minute show, and it was pretty good.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Fade to black.
That's over?
Freedom.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go watch the fights tonight, but it ended up happening.
I was supposed to be at a festival this morning. At 1 o'clock, I was supposed to be at a free seed day and then back to the festival. And I'm really upset that I didn't make it because it's in my hometown in Southern Ohio.
I'd go walk towards where all the people are, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go back to my spot quick. There's too many people. Holy shit, there's a lot of fucking glow rings in these trees. Like 100 glow
The
rings.
electric force.
But yeah, you guys got Ohio's got a festival coming up.
Ohio has a festival every weekend.
How's
Yeah,
that for a
this is
town?
one of the big ones.
I just went to one of the big ones, Grateful Fest. They opened up early bird on Thursday. All the camping sites were sold out Thursday night.
How's that for just a town of 3,000 fucking fireworks show?
Pretty good.
Not the
Are
best.
you
It's
just
been a lot better. A
are
lot
you-
other good, but
Are you
What's that?
just lying to us and that was actually the fireworks factory going off? Someone lit it on fire.
I don't know. Ever since COVID, it's been kind of down, but I see how far we're walking I'm from the lake. It's like a 13-mile long lake, I think. Something like that. Let's see if I can't get some of these drunks' money from the potteries.
Oh, Lost Land. It's September 20th, Thornville, Ohio.
Buckeye Lake.
A lot of you guys would never think that there'd be a town full of chicks in bikinis in Minnesota this time of year. At this time of night, even.
Then why the hell are you walking that way?
I want to make money.
Hell with making
If I
money.
would go to the left 3 blocks is where there's a city park and live music.
Oh.
If I were to go forward another block and a half, there's another bar with live music. But I don't have to go that far to get to my place.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because this is our city festival every year.
spend-
They have
I s-
citywide garage sales and shit too. So I've been, I'm gonna see if I can't do some garage sailing at dark here. I've never done that before. But there's a lot of fucking foot traffic.
I
About
don't
half
know.
an
I
hour here,
think
so.
I'd be where all the bikinis are, though. You only get that
Yeah,
once a
fucking,
year there.
that's not worth spending the money on that shit, man. I'm not a
Well, you
fucking,
don't have to spend money to look.
I was painting my signs when they fucking, my sign's been dangling here for fucking hours. Oops, I
Should
left the
put
fire
up a
unattended.
sign that says free body painting for girls.
I mean, I just did a big boo-boo. I left the fucking candle going here.
Dude, this shit's already sold out. That's crazy.
Yeah, Thornton Buckeye Lake is the place. The guy that I worked for, he didn't own Buckeye Lake. His partner did. What he did is he owned all the property around it. So if you wanted to go park, you had to park on his property. And the Grateful Dead played there a couple times. But that was the place for music in Ohio in the early days, the 60s, the 70s,
I love the hard
80s.
taking the night market thing for real.
Well, when I do Brimfield, we set up at 3 different fields in 7 days.
I don't know. I might get some drunk swinging through here. I'm kind of scared to put my sign up though. I got fucked up. It's like yesterday. So I got a friend that owns a consignment store. It's like a block from here. It's kind of in downtown. And they have these what they call sidewalk sales fucking during this festival or
Perfect.
whatever. Where you can have, everyone has sales in front of their building or whatever. And she let me go in front of hers, but we never paid the fucking. I suppose you're supposed to pay $50 to the Chamber of Commerce or some shit. But I just
Eh,
fucking went on this. But then here when I was breaking everything down last night, fucking here with my headlamp loading up like, I don't know, 15 totes worth of fucking pottery and shit. And the cops came and fucking harassed me. They're like, "What are you doing? It looks kind of suspicious with you with a headlamp out here." I'm like, "Well, I can't see in the dark. What am I supposed to do?" And fucking, yeah, they're just talking shit. I don't know, fucking pissed me off.
I would have said, am I accused of a crime?
Well, yeah, they were fucking, they're like, well, it's like, I just went back
What
to what I was
crime did
doing,
I commit? What crime did
Yeah.
I commit?
Yeah, no, I
I
almost
haven't
pulled out my
committed
phone
a
and put the
crime.
phone
Get
down.
the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was telling them. I'm like, I'd like to get back to what I'm doing. Like, see how we got people starting walking down now? It's just gonna be a fucking horde of people.
I love it when I tell a cop, can I go? I have things to do.
Right on.
When I went down to Little Italy, I took the ghetto way back. And I seen this cop he was sitting at a stop sign like 4 streets down. And I'm in the center lane of a 4 lane. And I say, man, this cop is going to pull right out and he's going to pull right behind me. And that's what he did. He rode my ass. I started to flick him off. And then I got close to the end of East Cleveland and he took a quick turn.
Oh
But he
shit, it's just
followed
started.
me for a long ways.
I gotta take a breather. It just started kicking in. Oh shit, got too many fires.
Fun fact, Arab Israeli friend of mine in Israel told me that, and it checked out. I looked it up. He wasn't lying. That it's constitutionally protected in Israel, and it's been tried by the Supreme Court apparently even. So it's a for real right at this point. You can say anything you want to a police officer and they have to accept it. They cannot take
Yep.
it. They can't like literally. And that's amazing because in the US you cannot like, oh, free speech, free speech. The fucking cops can say you violated them with your words or some shit, right? You resisted arrest with your fucking bad speech. In Israel, you can literally tell them any fucking thing. You can tell them their mother's a whore and whatever else, and they're not allowed to do anything to you. And apparently, if they do, you can sue them for apparently decent amounts of money. So,
If you want,
Terry
if you want to do that, you can do it here. Just have someone filming it because you
right.
are going to get arrested, and
Right.
when you get out, you're going
It
to
might
have a
break your
couple
skull
extra.
first, but
You're going to have a couple extra scrapes on you when you get out. But I have told a cop to go fuck off before, and literally done that.
same time, there was just another woman that was killed the other day by some crazy cop. What was her name? Actually, in your neck of the woods, not Ohio, but Illinois, I want to say. Oh man,
Yeah, well,
they charged in and blasted her. It's terrible. Anyway,
Too much of a pussy to put my sign up.
pardon?
I'm too much of a pussy to put my late night pottery sale sign up.
Yeah.
Do it, you pussy. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I don't know. I killed that bottle though.
You can't do it all night long.
Yeah, why wouldn't you put it up?
Right?
I
I
would.
don't know. Because I'm
Do it
tripping.
up.
I kept the normal tables open until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning at festivals. We were all tripping, but I
Yeah.
kept it open.
How much is
Hey,
this
bud.
one? Bro, it's $7.
That's badass, motherfucker.
Pay me the goddess of creation and you can have it.
The worst
Yeah,
part
bud.
though is you had to, keep the money straight and everything. Well, when you're tripping really hard, that's really hard to do. And you keep on checking it like every couple minutes to make sure it's still there where you put it.
I do that anyways. Anytime I get up to go somewhere, I check my pockets 6 times.
Not me. I know where all my money's at. I grab my debit card, my driver's license, and go.
I've lost countless amounts of money, wallets, IDs.
I used to lose my bank card a lot. So annoying.
I lose my mind.
Hey, bud.
Howdy, howdy. How's
Let's
that
do
going?
it.
So let's go to some festivals. I found a shit ton of wristbands, all different colors. I got blue, I got reds.
Take the Reds, man.
I think the next thing I'm going to is August 25th with Miranda Family Farms.
Queens, right? After show party. I found some cool shit over the past day.
I really wanted to go see the comedian Andrew Schultz tonight. Just couldn't get out there.
Monday, I'm going to Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. And then that's down here in San Diego. And then they're playing at the Hollywood Bowl a couple nights later. I'm going to that. I got put on the list from Willie's crew.
I love to see Willie. He awesome.
Yeah.
Still works.
Yes. Wait. Willie's 91 now and still on the road. So, you got
I run again.
how do you not go see somebody that's working that hard?
All the cannabis. Keep them going.
Yeah, but he's not smoking anymore. I heard he's just taking medibles.
Hmm.
Yeah, he has that COPD. He has like real shortness of breath.
CD.
They,
Just like,
well, he smoked in pretty late. Like Phil, he stopped right around 80. He's 84 now. I think there's like, yeah, when you get to that age, smoke is probably like not the same enjoyment, you know.
All right, here goes nothing. I feel like a fucking
Causes
weirdo,
some
man.
kind of discomfort, health problems.
Open
I
for
got
business.
hash rods and gummies.
I got some of those right here. 500 hash, 500 milligram. Uh, pretty, smell pretty good, but I won't do them. I'm not
Yeah,
into
the
edible.
ones I have don't taste like candy at all. It's just straight. Tastes like you're eating hash.
I just hammer tacked it with 4 staples. We'll see if that holds it up to the fucking post.
that's a bad medable then. If it traces straight like hash.
Yeah, but it's 100 milligrams for a little square. It's understandable.
No, I can add more cocoa powder to it. And yeah, it'll still taste a little bit like hash, but not overpowering. Believe me, in Thailand, yeah, I was adding a lot of cocoa powder because Fico is quite strong tasting as far as like a hash taste. So I stuck to chocolate because I could add more cocoa to it to cover up the taste. And they actually made them really good brownies and chocolates.
I don't know. These hash rods and gummies. I don't know. Like it smells like they're supposed to be blue raspberry. They smell like blue raspberry. They taste like it, but it's not like a candy. It's definitely a medicine.
It's a distillate.
No, it's hash rosin.
I like the packaging on these ones over here. You won't like them. Or kids hate them or something. You won't like these. Can I get away from my kid shit? Over.
All right, does anyone want to take a guess at how many people I'm gonna have? I guess 0 to 2. And 2 is being
With your good looks and boyish charm, I guess 4.
Yeah,
I mean, for all I know, there could be a fucking wicked party of like 20 fucking drunks. Because they're all going from the they make from the one place to the other place right by here, so fuck, winter in the bitch, so everything keeps flying around. I can't do anything right.
I bought 3 Nambe candlesticks today for $15.
good.
Those were probably $250 brand new.
Captain, if you find another one of those fucking Hasselblads for $10 that you keep talking about, you need to buy me one.
Well, there's stuff like this, and I literally cranked it and it still works. This is a cap gun, but it's a machine gun.
He's
And
cranking
it takes it, yeah, but it still has the sticker on how to use it here. This is only like the 3rd one I've ever seen that still works. But yeah, I should go through some of the boxes here. I've got those two boxes and this one here to go through by tomorrow morning. I've got to be at the convention at 10 a.m. I have a meeting about whoring myself out for my knowledge.
Oh shit, Philman, you know what I seen tonight?
Hmm.
One of those drones that attach to a wire.
Or
What do you
So it
mean?
doesn't have
Yeah.
a battery, it can just stay up in the air. The power bank's on the ground, and it
Yeah.
just has like a couple 100 feet of just straight cable.
Interesting.
I think it was the
It might
cop.
get
I think it was the
dangerous,
cop drone.
like
I was just gonna say, like, it must be a loitering drone.
came down low and went across somebody's neck. A
Because I
wire.
was sitting there and I'm like, holy fuck, that thing's been in the air for like a while.
No,
And-
Captain's not wrong. That's the kind of thing that could have the potential to go bad real quick. So it must be something that has a special license, because I can tell you, I couldn't fly something that's attached to the ground. I mean, a kite, but not a power
But that doesn't have a motor.
Yeah,
That's
but I think what it does is I think it's meant for like really stationary use and like the ability to.
Cops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
search and rescue, cops, shit like that, probably.
It's probably easier to get a thermal picture when you're looking for someone in the woods and stuff a little bit higher. You don't need to call in the fucking helicopter. But it was just
Well,
sitting
You
up
don't
there.
even need a helicopter anymore. Yeah,
Well,
you have stunningly good IR cameras now on drones. I have a really good like a FLIR camera that basically it's on a broken drone. A friend of mine gave me this broken drone that crashed into a tree, and sure enough, there's a fucking $2,000 camera stuck to it. The dude that whose drone it was, he just filed an insurance claim. He's like, no, I'll just keep it. So that's why she gave it to me. But anyway, the camera works. The drone basically is broken. But anyway, that was a several-year-old drone. Now they have like some of the high. I can't remember all the different grades of infrared, but basically they have the highest grade infrared on not DJI because it's a Chinese drone, but basically on some of the American equivalent drones. Anyway, they can see full how do I put it? Full resolution detail. It's fucking amazing.
I'm looking it up right now. Hold on. A tethered drone or unmanned aerial, the drone that's connected to the ground station by a tether that provides power and data. Yeah, it looks just like this thing. Look. Here, I'll show you. Wait, how do I fucking
That
share?
sounds more like a kite.
Let me get a web URL.
You guys can watch me work.
That's what she said.
Copy.
She goes.
Let's see if this works.
Pinch out for a bigger view. That's something that they cannot do with your mom because she's so fat.
uh-oh.
Yeah,
Hey-oh.
days up in the air.
California versus Ohio State Rose Bowl, 1950.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of drone you'd have, like maybe the NFL would have that drone, or like you say, search and rescue. Because the NFL has some drones that basically swoop back and forth. I guess technically, I haven't really seen a good image of them, but I
Bad
think
website.
I think they're quads, but that they're wired. So basically, they're essentially what you're talking about, and they basically swoop over the field essentially.
Bad website. Sorry, guys. So this is one of them. This is the quadcopter. Variable height antenna. Our all-weather Sentry is designed to meet IPA 54. I don't know what M-studded standards are, but it operates in extreme
Kind of a
conditions.
Yeah. But Sentry, it's in the name. Basically, it stands guard, right? What do sentries do? They stand guard. So it's supposed to basically loiter. So whatever you would want, if you wanted to have I don't know, an operation in some, freaking distant third world country or something, right? You want to have Overwatch basically over the entire teams. You'd have that drone loitering top. Makes sense that you'd have something that never has to refuel, essentially. That's cool. It's interesting. It's still complicated because you still have that point of failure, right? And so I imagine a lot of that style of drone probably are gas powered, and you don't have to have like a Predator drone that's a couple $1 million. Like they make gas powered drones for a couple $3,000, so you could definitely get a gas powered version of that one. So interesting that they have the wire. What's in the corners?
Wow, that's interesting.
This one's called something different, though. This is called the Spectra. So it's a different drone. Same company, different drone. I don't know how to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it was just sitting up there, and I looked at it, and I'm like, dude, that's been there for hours. How the fuck is it staying up?
When I was in Israel, they had a military drone. I wish I could remember the name of it. I guess we could Google it. But it literally flew over me a couple times. In fact, my friend, the same friend that was talking to me about about cops, told me about the drone basically because I was like, oh, what's that buzzing sound? Because we were standing outside. I was smoking a cigar and he was smoking a cigarette. And I was like, oh, what's that fucking sound? I keep hearing it all the time. And I assumed it was some kind of a drone. But he was like, oh, yeah, that's the such and such military drone that basically just loiters all day long. And sure enough, there was this. I think I posted on Instagram. There was this really cool palm tree that I would go sometimes to just kind of clear my brain and smoke a cigar and stand by this palm tree filled with birds and baby birds and stuff. It was really fun hearing the little cheep 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 and seeing the birds fly back and forth. Anyway, it was a weird place to stand and smoke a cigar, especially during a war. So the drone flew like right over me and just kind of loitered over me. And I just kind of looked at
Your
it
face real quick, and it was like, no,
wave, No, I was tempted to wave or something to be like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" Or, I don't know, mug for the camera or some shit. But I was like, "Whatever, they're just doing their job." And it just
you
kept
probably feed it right into like an intelligence thing. Like they probably have facial recognition on that thing.
Oh, you don't have to say probably. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Basically, every country has facial recognition. The U.S. border control, every time you come into the border now, it's been kind of a creepy thing for like 15 years now. Anytime you come in and out of the border, you get facial recognition scanned. So yeah, there's without question.
Yeah, even the Spear has facial recognition. There's a story where they kicked out this guy for smoking at Fish, and now the Spear's owned by MSG, the Mass Square Garden that owns a bunch of venues.
Sodium glutamate.
And then months later, the guy tried to go to a show at Mass Square Garden, and yeah, they facial recognitioned him and said, "Oh no, you're kicked out from MSG Properties."
It's
For anything in particular?
like the Grateful Dead no-fly list.
So I stopped by. Really neat stuff.
Thank you.
I want to go to the casino, man. I'm itching.
Well, Vegas
So,
has been
or one visitor.
casinos definitely have been like the customer facial recognition technology from the gate. Like,
Another big one is Target, actually.
Oh yeah, Targets and Walmart.
And they have apparently it's ultra creepy. They apparently have customer profiles for everybody that comes in. It's been argued Target, as far as I know, has never, as far as I know, has never. What's the word I'm looking for? Admitted to this, but it's long been rumored that they basically have credit checks and like entire life story profiles basically for everybody that comes to their store, and they facial scan them, which is a terrible invasion of
the other
privacy.
thing
Probably
is,
legal.
you're not just face scanning, you're giving them all your financial data too when you scan into their system. If you use a card there, they have every number on that card.
You know,
I just made a sale.
what they're doing is they're cross-checking
Thanks, hardcore.
database and everything else, trying to figure out who you are, essentially.
Yeah,
And then
and then there's some software company that's taking all these different people's system and mining it and selling that information on. Yeah, of course. Like in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, like if you jaywalk, yeah, it's all facial recognition. They'll just send you the ticket.
Have you heard
I mean,
about the new Blackwell chips that NVIDIA is releasing?
How many of you just made $3? I didn't think so.
In Dubai and Abu Dhabi, like they claim there's like zero crime, right? Yeah, and a part of it is yeah, everywhere you go is totally facial recognition, CCTV cameras or whatever. It's beyond that now. That's how they police over there, basically, with that.
All right, hold on.
During the mask mandate, you could get a ticket if
Is
your
anyone up?
mask wasn't on.
Powering a new era of computing, NVIDIA today announced the NVIDIA Blackwell platform has arrived, enabling organizers everywhere to build and run real-time generative AI on trillion cryometer large language models, up to 25 times less cost and energy consumed than its predecessor. I'm trying to see where it tells me how fast it is.
No.
I must be tripping. It keeps looking like there's a vehicle coming.
Go ahead, hardcore. Softcore, rather.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Packed with 208 billion transistors.
Stunning. Talking about like $35,000 processors, though. You're not talking about like,
Oh, yeah.
Put in your gaming computer. Although if you did put it in your gaming computer, you'd have the best gaming computer on the block. I could pretty much guarantee.
Yeah, large language models are open source. You just have to be $1 billion company to be able to use it. Open
The
source my
platform
ass.
is a single GPU with 1.4, I never even heard this word, exaflops of AI performance.
That's
Call your mom
if you look up supercomputers, they're measuring exaflops now. I don't know what the next step is going to be. It used to be what, teraflops or some shit.
So yeah, they just released this a little while ago, and I can't wait to see. They're releasing it to consumer market, so in all reality, like the normal person is going to be able to build a supercomputer pretty soon.
That's what people are talking about. Things are going to change real quick, real fast. Hardcore he's not exactly right. He was, I think, being facetious. He knows full well there are large language models you can actually download and fuck with on your computer. You can't, like, if you don't have that great of a computer, you're not going to get that far. But there are some that actually technically would run on your fucking computer. But for example, Facebook, of all fucking companies in the entire world, is turning into a weird hero in the whole AI space. That they're not the only one, but they're one of the biggest ones to actually open source all their models. And Zuckerberg, who again I did not have on my bingo card as the AI savior of mankind, is basically committed apparently to keeping AI open source, basically, so it doesn't get bottlenecked basically by private interests, which is a really big deal, because if AI is controlled by the not even 1%, by the 0.0001%, it could literally be controlled by 20 or 30 fucking people, and the rest of us would literally be enslaved. Yeah, it's 100%. They can enslave the rest of us So it's pretty important that, and I'm being very under emphatic that it's really important that open source AI
Oh
is
shit!
as advanced as everything else.
An
today.
alignment.
Supposedly, there's a metal that can like move and morph now, too. Kind of like the Terminator liquid form.
Oh, I know what you're talking about from a couple of years ago, actually. It's
Ferrofluid?
100%.
metal.
It's basically a what was the difference? Shit, Smash might be talking about something else, but I remember it was like they found a what am I fucking trying to say? Because they can control ferrofluids, but usually what happens is they basically turn on the magnet, turn off the magnet, and the ferrofluid like represents the magnet, right? But they could find ways to actually change the shape, basically, kind of like the Terminator bot. I might be talking about something else. What are you talking about, Smash?
The researchers took Gillium, a metal with a low melting point, and embedded it with magnetic particles to create a robot that can melt and move.
Gallium. We're talking-
Gallium.
That was the name of my lawyer for my fucking Gallium Law Offices is the name of the lawyer I had for my Potluck Farms fiasco.
I got a video if you want me to play it. I don't know. Well, let me watch it. Mute myself.
Are you aware of Ben Goertzel and Singularity Net? Fumi?
Sorry, I didn't catch the name. Ben what? Wurtzel?
Ben Goertzel?
I
He
don't
always
think so.
wears like a really big floppy hat. Kind of like a big top hat, only it's fuzzy. Doesn't always wear it, but he's got like long wavy hair. He's like a really hippie type AI. He's been working with AI models and like speaking robots and shit for forever. But I think he's like
Christ, is this the fucking old guy that I was thinking about? Is he the guy that wears the bow tie?
no, that's Ray Kurzweil.
Okay.
He's
all right.
the one that
So
came up with the singularity term. He's a trip to listen to his latest speeches talking about like the longevity, what do they call it? The longevity threshold or whatever the hell it is.
You
Or
guys gotta
eventually we're
see
gonna,
this. This is real. This is incredible.
Yeah, Kurzweil has been obsessed with age extension for a long time.
he takes like 40 pills a day, like vitamins and shit.
Mhm.
All right, ready? I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So, right here, it melts. They get it through the bars, and this is the signal they're sending it, I think, in the corner to the left. Yeah, magnet field through the metals, but it can reshape itself.
Did you ever watch that World Science Festival channel?
This is interesting. So,
I think Brian Green is usually the host of it.
I can't
They-
stop. Can you stop the share for me?
Can I do what?
Stop the share. I don't have a button right now.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think. Hold on. I think I know what I gotta do. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, that World Science Festival. Yeah, I think it was just yesterday, or the day before. They had an episode where they were talking about how they can, without probing your skin with anything, like using like fMRI and EEG or something like that, they can basically read your thoughts. Where they'll have a person, they have people like read like 16 hours worth of or they test them with listening to 16 hours worth of podcasts, and when just by that they get like a scope of what their brain is thinking or whatever, and like it doesn't get it verbatim just yet because it's new technology, but it is fucking freaky how close it gets. Like it gets the gist of what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
no, this is legit scary stuff. Hardcore is not making it up at all. They're able now already, and they basically hook it up to an AI that can essentially, it's a little bit like a large language model that basically just runs through all the permutations of what your mental picture might be, and they can literally, in essentially real time, um, analyze what you're thinking. They did it to a couple of like blind people to visualize what these blind people were seeing. They've done it to a bunch of other people now to the point that they can actually visualize. Like if the person's visualizing walking through a city street that has trees on the sides of the road, they can literally see it. They basically can project that image onto a screen by basically reading the electromagnetic patterns of your brain.
Yep.
That's old technology, and then running it basically through an AI that essentially translates it. So speaking of target and facial recognition, we're rapidly approaching a point where Target not only will know who you are when you walk in the store, and not only know your financial history and how much you make per year, and if you're married, if you're not married, if you're looking to have babies. Famously, they send potentially fertile women like all kinds of advertisements for products they might need. It's really creepy.
Yeah, before
Anyway,
they even know that they're pregnant.
potentially they'll be able to literally, I'm not even joking, literally read your fucking thoughts.
Yep.
That sounds implausible. That sounded implausible.
Like
Just
George
last
Orwell.
year. No, it's real.
Have you ever heard the guy with the Neuralink in his head talking?
Little bit.
Didn't they take it out of him or something like that, or didn't it fucking go bad?
Didn't work
He's
out exactly well, but I think he's still connected. But he seemed to think it was a very positive experience. I was really surprised.
at
Oh,
one
that's a
point
big PR stunt anyway.
he's like sometimes my hand's moving before I even think it with it on. Like it was reading his brain signals and telling his hand before he even thought about it.
Yeah, they're saying they were saying something like the brain can only think as fast as it does basically. Like if we were to think any faster like a computer does, we wouldn't be able to fucking function because it would be too fast. I don't know how to word it. They worded it was all in that fucking it was a crazy fucking speed. Like you got to go to the World Science Festival YouTube channel, and it was just like yesterday or the day before. It's fucking crazy. It's like an hour, maybe hour and a half.
So
One
I'm
of the
going
most
through, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I'm going through some of the old marijuana newsletters that I helped put together and put out. And this is our normal, little photo page of things that we did. And I was wondering why my picture wasn't among any of the events in here. And instead of my picture, my flower got pictured. So Tommy Chong made it in there because he was at Hash Bash that year. Steve Bloom at Boston Rally. Dana Beal. Here's another Boston Rally. So I was wondering why I wasn't in there. And then I looked at the bud and I said, oh, that's my bud. But this was another one where I was pictured in the back of. It's just bringing back old memories. Donnie Worschafter, no one knows about him anymore. He was the one that actually brought hemp clothing and stuff into the United States in 95, 96. He's also Peter Lewis's nephew, but he was a lawyer. And we went to a festival down outside of Athens, and we called it Bust Fest. There were like 300 and some people got busted, And he ended up getting them all out of jail on technicalities. That really pissed the county off.
Better call Saul.
All right, I'm gonna call it early tonight. I hope you guys have a good night.
There's this.
There's,
Guys be safe.
Peace. So that's kind of nice running across something like that.
Get off the camera again.
And the person that sent me these has since passed away. But I'm about to get to the Jack Herrera stuff. The autograph books.
That's cool.
You showing that kind of stuff? I don't know exactly what year, the late 90s. There'd be these rallies in Westwood, California. That's like right there by UCLA at the Federal Building on this like lawn area. That's where I remember seeing Jack
That's
speak.
one of
And even though it was like the Federal Building, and there wasn't that many people that would come. It was like I don't even know what we like. It was before there was even the 215 law. There were like, it might have been rally around one of the other bills that didn't pass. So it was probably early 90s, like because Prop 215 was in 96. But yeah, it was like the first time there'd be like all these cops on the perimeter just because we were on federal property at the Federal Building. It would be on the weekend, so the building was closed. But yeah, there'd be a couple hundred people in the crowd, all just smoking weed and shit, and smoke billowing. Like today, you wouldn't think much of that, but at the time, oh, that was like a big, like, come and arrest us. What are you gonna do? We're smoking weed at the marijuana rallies, and that was like the first time I remember like any sense of like other, like, you didn't know any of the people there, but you all had one thing in common: cannabis. Or at the time, like, because there was no other reason to go to that event other than support. You know, they'd be trying to register you to vote. That was all it was. It wasn't like any kind of booths and people trying to sell shit. No, none of that. It was just, oh, you hear different people speak. And Jack Hare, a couple other guys that were like regulars on this. The one guy, I always forget his name, but they give him a lot of credit for the 215 law. I forgot his name. He passed. Well, they all
Dennis
passed.
Perone.
Perone. He would be like the headliner. Like, I kind of remember shit he said. I just know this from the times I heard Jack Hare speak, and I'm sure in some archive there's recordings of audio, maybe some video. He wasn't like talking about, "Wait, I'll have a right to get high." That wasn't his thing. It was about industrial hemp, right? And like you said, clothing, all the he like now the list is way longer, but he had a little list of things that it could be used for and the history of it, and that was all part of his thing. And
All
I
right,
didn't know
I'm about
personally in any way, but I must have heard half dozen of these speeches in my life from him over the years. And all I think about when I think of him is he'd be rolling in his grave that whatever years have gone by and all this Schedule 3 talk and this and all these states legal and rec and hemp has basically turned into a crop to make fake gas shit like Delta 8 or all these weird products that they still sell in the illegal states and some in the legal states, but no real progress at all on like what his message was. Like, yeah, he was talking about we wouldn't need to cut down and use as much trees and all. I don't even think plastics were a part of it back then, but there were all these things like, and not one of those has been realized, right? Which I think is a travesty. But I understand it because you're talking about mainly the Koch brothers that control the fucking paper products and the wood. And you got the rubber companies and the chemical plastic companies. Basically all corporations, alcohol, they feel threatened by cannabis. Like even that it might, like one of them should tackle it themselves, but in turn, they're like in the status quo, and they're not into giving up any market share of their current grind. Like that to me seems to be.
All right, Bud, I'm gonna destroy just the emperor wears no clothes. I just showed you 2 autographed copies. Now, this next book I'm going to show you is entitled Grass, and it's the Revolutionary American Standard System, the official guide for assessing the quality of marijuana on the 1 to 10 scale for determining what you have and where you're at, by Jack Carrera and Al Emanuel. Right
Yeah,
there.
I mean, obviously
And
he was a multifaceted person, but a lot of his things, mainly because of
it's
that book,
autographed in crayon.
he was like a champion of hemp and the industrial properties of it, right? He was, and I like
Dude,
somehow
that's like
no
some
one
top
carried
notch
that
shit
torch any
there.
further, right?
A purple DSO lighter to go with the other one I showed you the other day on Instagram. Hey, if you need a blue wristband, we got those too. I told you. We got orange ones if you
Now,
really need them.
isn't the deal with the that book, the Emperor Wears No Clothes, like the first edition, then the second, I don't know what edition they're on now, but like in a lot of books, if you have a first edition, that's even more valuable.
Yeah, these are later editions.
Yeah.
July 31st, August 1st and 2nd, Jerry's Music Birthday Bash, JGGB, Waxy Monks, $15. Jerry Fest, 98, Bear Creek Amphitheater. That's where we held a lot of our festivals at. Sugar Magnolia and Wish You Were Here. Half the band plays in both of them. These were some good times, guys. Admission, $25 at the gate, $20 pre-sale.
Yeah, festivals are just like from a promoter standpoint, they're just like almost like really impossible to pull off due to like the permits, the laws, the liability. Like there's still a few festivals that have trudged on, but yeah, the good old days of like real festivals, like where people were just mayhem for like 3, 4, 5 days. Not really mayhem. It was controlled chaos, but a lot of them were like the kind of thing where the authorities realized that for the most part, people manage themselves, right?
That goes
Well,
in the
today that's not
pile.
how. So many people gather, and then we have to have security. We have to do, and there's reasons for that because fucking society is sick as fuck, and things happen. The whatever free and easy days, of the past, they're They're in the past. Like a small
Wow.
promoter had, if he had a location and this, could pull off some
I
amazing
ascend.
event, right? Without any real, not too much problem. Yeah, today, that's really hard to do. Even for a cannabis event, like once you get a couple hundred people, then there's a whole bunch of shit you got to go through.
I just found my peace and love checks that have tie-dye around the outside of them from like 1996. I think that was the last time I wrote a check too. I'm gonna go through this stuff you guys don't want.
And here I thought that I was getting a fucking high tolerance for this acid I've been taking for the past week now, it seems. But I was wrong.
If I didn't break one, I should have a set of 8 of these hand blown blasts.
Those look kind of fragile.
Yeah,
Pretty
they
sweet.
are. They're really thin.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. And they were right price. I said, I've got to have them.
I'm using that. There's no bugs.
But
It's windy. You fucking dumbass.
when you're swinging ounces, at 400, buying a set of 8 hand blown glasses, for a couple $100 ain't shit. I definitely fed my
No bugs
money
though. It's
back
windy.
into our community.
My phone's at 1%.
Later.
Act like you don't fucking hear me, you piece of shit.
That's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least we have a set of 4.
You're a fucking asshole these days, you piece of shit.
There's more little Abner glasses. You remember Shmoo?
Yeah. I appreciate people
Yes.
who are collectors by nature. I'm the opposite.
There's
I
another
feel
one.
like stuff is a burden. So I'm not attached to stuff. And yeah, a lot of good stuff went through my hand being that way.
Yeah. Well, if I didn't sell the shit that was at my house, that would have been, I'd be at 350,000.
My wife was a collector of swords, and I know some other people that are. I get the passion of it. Yeah, it's never been my thing.
Did you guys just hear me bitching at my neighbor? I didn't know I was unmuted. Oops.
Culture, MMP from Michigan. Ah. But more magazines about cannabis. I have a very large cannabis collection, guys. A very large one.
Well, if it's from whatever years, all that stuff is kind of cool. Like, it really wasn't much at the time. It was just stuff.
There you go. Frank Lucido. That's my medical paper for California. That's his fucking file on me too for 1 year.
Yeah, I had one doctor for like 20 years, and then this other doctor up in LA for, I don't know, 5, 6 years. I can't remember the names of either of them. The one guy, yeah, 20 years down here. I don't, and no, I don't keep the Briarwoods.
Good call.
This one just got colored on the stem, but I thought this was a cool glass. Many years going to festivals. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. I hope I didn't
like
break
to count.
one.
I like to
think
count.
I broke one.
Oh no.
Oh, cool. So I told you guys about my cigarette paper collection, right? Well, I just found it. This whole bag is filled, but different types of rolling papers from all around the world.
Got
And
some Randy's in there?
also, there's my grinder collection. That's from the Bluebird. These are all from Amsterdam. This is Rookies.
Rookies cookies.
And yes, these all are straight pins. Let's see. Takacan, Amsterdam. Another grinder.
I like the grinder all night long.
This is another Rookies, but it's a wood one.
Oh, rookie cookies. Number 1.
There's a couple here that
Rookies
just got
cookies.
on the bottom. They have like pot leaf.
They're all
Here's
boring.
one from the Rokery, which is a really fucking good place too. And this one is Baba's Coffee Shop. They were the only place in Amsterdam that would allow me, because the quality of keef I had, to add it to their milkshakes. They actually made milkshakes with keef in them.
My milkshake brings out lady boys to the yard.
In fact, that's when their lighter's there. Of course, not going to work. But I mean, here's papers.
You got any Randy's with the wire?
No. I got cool ones. Got a picture of a boat on the back of it. But, just stuff that you wouldn't really find. So I'm not gonna go through the whole bag, guys. There's a shitload of them in here. The Grasshopper Coffee Shop. Those are some, actually, there's more there than that. There's Bluebird even.
Oh, grasshopper.
Bluebird,
Wax off.
the Rogue Curry. They even tell you where they're at.
Load them
So,
both.
yeah. This is part of my Amsterdam collection.
Oh, bullshit. Oh, bullshit.
419.
There's another Rokery.
Yeah. You know, and I better hurry then.
Greenhouse. These are probably good. No, they're dead too. Someone must have used all these. Damn it.
The fluid
Another
evaporated.
No, it didn't evaporate. Someone used them all.
420.
Cheers, everybody.
Believe me, I've got quite a few of them and none of them work. Here's the Grasshopper. That one works.
Hang on.
So Grasshopper walks into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, you know they have a drink named after you?" And the Grasshopper said, "They have a drink named Herb." That's a Norm
Holy
Macdonald
shit.
joke.
That one's froze up.
Oh my god. Oh, what the
That's
hell?
another Grasshopper one.
They're playing Bohemian Rhapsody right now.
It don't work.
And they're actually killing the fucking solo part. Almost makes me want to walk down there. Fucking cool rock.
Oh, I remember when I bought all those lighters. Another greenhouse lighter that doesn't
man.
work. Another one that doesn't work.
Oh yeah. What the hell is that guy?
Huh?
Oh, I can't think of his name. I tell a joke, but I forget what it was. What's the guy's name?
They
is?
should work.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up. Let's see.
Oh, you know what just happened? Now I noticed. Sometimes lighters, the flint on them will go bad. And that's what's on my fingers right now when I've been turning these.
That
I've
happens to
just
me.
been killing the flint because these lighters actually have full fluid in them. Excuse me while I go wash this off my hands.
Oh yeah, John Stamos. John Stamos walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, we have a drink named after you. You have a secret name? You have a drink named after me? Yeah, it's called the Secret Fag."
Boom. Guy had grease mop. Your face is melting, D. Did you know that? Probably get that checked out.
I'm melting. I'm melting. Oh, Timmy.
I have a question, Hardcore.
Timmy.
Were those real or not?
What's that?
What you sent me? You asked me if
Do we want to
was
know?
interested.
Yeah, I'd have to read. No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then
They're
I'd
not-
probably be interested
Okay.
in the purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bud would too.
Got gold flake
What?
too. Kind of
No, I think the straight purple. Well, gold flake and gels are just should be the same thing.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of ways to make hits. It
No,
all depends
no,
what the starting crystal is.
micro dots and
Yeah.
shit like that.
You know, like still, it just matters what the source is.
Oh, yeah. I just caught on what you guys are
I'm
talking
not
about.
involved with the game anymore, but considering the level of chemistry that's out there, especially internationally, oh, I imagine there's a lot of different. Like back when I was involved, oh no, it wasn't like that. It's just you
Oh yeah, I
source.
should.
That's my Bud on the front of the shirt, by the way.
Uh,
Yeah, it's getting a
That's
little
a
intense.
normal staff shirt.
I don't know. I can hear people are town is starting to fucking wake up and everyone's leaving. Everyone's moving. It's gonna start getting crazy now for the next like hour. I don't know if you guys can see see the fucking. Well, there's no foot traffic now. Just they say that, but there's gonna start to be just groups and hordes of people.
maybe you did take the acid and just hearing things.
What's that?
J5. I said J5 says you're afraid to eat the acid I sent him. But I think maybe he did eat the acid and he's just hearing things now.
Someone's cooking steaks on the grill. I can smell them.
Oh.
Prettier shit. So I'm picking up like shit from the next town over. I'm not really, but
An old Heart concert shirt, another concert shirt. So I don't know if you can see them, but you see all the clothes over here. Those are all like cannabis related t-shirts.
He's on me. Feel on.
And I didn't pay for one of them. Well, I did with a bunch of time and work. These are going to be the rest of the Shmoo glasses.
What?
Yeah. This one's Papioca. He's Shmoo's on all of them. I fucking love Shmoo. Shmoo could break apart into anything and disappear out of any problem. He was a cool ass motherfucker. And then Space Ghost got a hold of him. You guys remember Space Ghost, don't you?
can I buy those 4 from you?
What for?
Oh, never mind.
I've got the whole set. But this one's actually a baseball one. And we got to take the sticker out because we're going to that show tomorrow. I paid $2 for it. I better take it out. I mean, the catcher's wearing 1930s catching gear. It should be a little bit more than $2, I think. Or maybe I should just tell them, hey, fuck you, that's what I paid for. But no, I have like the whole set of those glasses. Because here's here's another Pappy. So I've got extra ones too.
I didn't bust out my glassware tonight. I almost should now that I'm.
These are like $30, $40 a piece.
Feeling fuzzy.
The Shmoo one's the tough one though, in Little Abner.
Right on, little Abner. That's awesome, Captain.
Yeah. These are two. Now this is the Shmoo one though. I love this one.
Yeah.
I know you guys can't see too well.
Let me see if I can. Hold on.
I don't know, maybe if I did that. No, that don't even show up. Well, that's what you get for 1949.
Here, hang on. I'll bring up a picture here. Come on, you piece of crap.
Oh, man. This is something people may find interesting. That was Steve Carlton's first program. And this one here is Bob Feller's 200th game win. And I do have the ticket stub to that one too.
Oh. And for people that didn't, my shit, am I muted?
No,
Yeah, no. Okay. For people that didn't see who the Shmoo was, here's a picture of the Shmoo. The little
and I'm
cartoon
actually,
character.
yeah. And he could break apart into different pieces too. When he came across trouble, he would break apart into different little pieces and then reconform back together again.
Timmy!
There's Kobe Bryant's 81 point game ticket. I'm going to take this and have it graded. And then I'm going to blow the population report on LeBron Cleveland home game tickets, his first one, because I've got 4 of them and there's only been 3 graded.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to end up with at least 2 of them that are going to beat the top graded one. The top graded one's only graded a 6. And I think my ticket, my personal ticket, is definitely a 9. And the 6, the guy wants fucking $1,500 for.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well, like I said, this shit went up like crazy. I need to smoke a cigarette or joint or both.
Timmy! AJ5.
We are going to turn a little bit of this light off. That's too much.
I'm smoking some 24 karat gold.
I'm smoking weed.
Smoking shirt cracker.
I'm smoking like my
I
last
need
couple.
some. Last couple what? roaches?
No, just resin out of the pipe.
Hmm.
That's
That's
all here for a few.
hardcore.
Hit me up in a DM and I got some Cali light depth I can send your way.
You see the naked ladies on this glass? I put tape over their boobies just to be coos.
I can take you downstairs and show you a whole fucking cabinet full of those. And then
Yeah.
all the calendars, the good girl calendars.
These are pretty sweet ones. These fucking, I don't know if you can see it. They're highballs, smoked. I forget what brand they are.
Smoky quartz. The hell?
Fucking,
Oh,
I think I'm gonna sell my Binko, Binko collection. Since the prices on those have gone skyrocketing.
these are kind of cool.
That's in one of these two tubs too, along with all the Viking from the 50s and 60s. Viking glass made glass mushrooms.
oh.
I don't want to take all this out of here.
You still got your sign up there, Brian? Hardcore?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it goes on tomorrow, doesn't it?
Well, well, tomorrow's the parade. Like pretty much at noon, everything is done. So pretty much tonight, everything is done too. Like there's been bands for the last few nights and everything.
You're the only person I know that made money during the night like that, having a sale.
I've only made $3, so it's not like we're moving along too much here.
Yeah, no,
But-
but I mean, hey, I don't know anyone that sold stuff like that at nighttime.
Well, I've never
Really?
tried.
You
That's
never
crazy.
see me at the normal table.
But no, it's
Dude, you're tripping to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to sell something between midnight and 4.
once the music gets over, it'll start to get hectic. I'm surprised at how many people up. I don't know. I don't even want to walk down there. It's fucking lame.
Yeah,
Oh,
cross
that's much better.
the railroad tracks tonight. I
Hey,
can tell it's like a really good, like, I wouldn't call it mariachi, but it's like a Mexican band, horn section, rhythm section. I can hear it. It's a party there. They have them at that house like every couple months.
that's
Um,
all.
It's inviting, but it's like, yeah, I don't know anybody there. And like a white boy doesn't walk up on one of those parties.
Hey, Chicano.
Actually, I went and visited someone that's on another YouTube show in Flint, and Google Maps pointed me to the wrong house. So I get out of the van with a white bag, and then I forgot my drink. So I went back and got my drink. By the time I shut my van door, there were like 3 big dogs in the picture window, 2 people looking out, and a guy coming out the side door with no shirt, his hand behind his back, and going, "Who are you? Who are you looking for?" And I'm like, "I'm looking for this person." And he didn't know the guy's screen name on YouTube. And because he lived right next fucking store to him. And he's like, "Oh, that's my neighbor." He probably scared the shit out of you, didn't he? I said, "Fuck yeah, dude. This is Michigan, Flint, Michigan. You don't go just knocking on people's doors without a correct address." You fucking get killed that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't in the house, you're just in the yard.
Those are pretty cool, actually. Some of that's pretty cool, hardcore.
Yeah, but he wants like New York prices for it.
Oh, I can hear the drunks are fucking screaming at each other from across the street.
Fuck off with the gun!
Like that's like a $120 fucking pie plate.
Yeah, too bad you're in the wrong state for that. You need to put that up on eBay
Yeah, eBay is where it all does good. Like I'll give you like a lesson. Like this here,
until they
is
fuck you out at a 22%.
this is Denny McLaughlin. He owned Birch Kool-Aid Pottery in Minnesota for like 20 years, and in the past 15 years he's been a ceramics professor at Harvard. That's one of his. That's one of his. These are all this shit right there is all his. Fucking
Well, what do you got on them?
those. I'd like $10 a piece. Even though like on eBay, a Denny McLaughlin M&M would probably do like 25 or 30 probably.
Okay.
And I'll take 5 or 10 for him even tonight, so I don't care. Fucking or like these ones. So this here is a Travis Hinton out of Minneapolis, I believe. Or no, he's out of North Dakota. This is like a maybe $80 to $120 on eBay. Or if you go to his store, where else
Holy
another. Oh, this is a Hinton here too. This orange one. It's like a fucking drinking bottle. Fucking heavy ass stoneware. You got a fucking pimp cup goblets over here. This one here is a fucking. This is a Zach Dryden. Like, have you ever heard of Dryden Pottery? They're like a big factory company that's been around for 100 years.
See?
This is their son that took over the company. His own personal studio wear, which you don't see often. Kind of like
Okay.
this shit. These are Deneen pottery, where I've got older Deneen shit that, like, if you ever see this kind of stamp on coffee mugs and shit, like I've seen Bud has had a coffee mug that's got a stamp on it like this. Like, see how they got that? It almost looks like leather, you know. This one's a wizard. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah,
DK.
well, mine is from the 2015 Fare Thee Well shows. That was like this mug. Because I'm the
You
kind
know-
of person, like,
you
if
know the
I buy
maker?
something, it's because I use it.
I
know
use
that,
almost well, not everything. I don't use a lot of bases, but I like to look at them at least. But no, I use mugs fucking. I don't know. I got a lot of favorite mugs out of these. Here's some like they're little owls, but they're like double walled mugs for like hot chocolate and shit. Woo, woo. Is there the stamp on the bottom? Is that because I'm wondering if it's Deneen pottery? I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like it.
Cool,
band,
actually.
it's like whoever merchandised that
Cool.
stuff with the band.
Yeah,
If I can look at it.
like
Yeah.
all the national parks have a Deneen pottery mug. I had one for Potluck Farms because I've got a personal line with the guy that created this company. Like these are all Deneen ones here. Fucking but they're like $1 billion company now. And
Yeah, it's made
almost
by
every college-
Sunset Hill Pottery, and it says like
Oh, yeah, that's not.
SAF.
But what they're doing is they're knocking off Deneen's stamp process. Like here's an early one. This is actually the company that he had before Deneen Pottery. I forget what it was called, Heritage or something like that. But But like nowadays, they're just a huge company where like if you get a fucking uh, what is it called? Death Wish coffee mug. Usually they'll be more along this like black and blue foam color or whatever. But like certain ones of those fucking are like worth fucking like $3,000 just for a fucking coffee mug. If they got the right sign on them.
This mug says celebrating 50 years of the Grateful Dead. And because I already know it's going to be early next year because Phil's health is in question. But next year is 60 years. And they're going to do one more, like, whatever. Basically, the Dead company, but Phil back.
Wow.
This one's a pocket mug or whatever. Where like your finger slides in there like a mitten.
I got something in my pocket for you.
I've got
something.
another one of them too.
Let's see what it is. Give it a little squeeze and say, how do you do? No?
We got like, so here's a fucking, this is a beer chicken baker, right? This is made by Coyote Clay out of Hutchinson, Minnesota. If you go to their website to buy this thing, you're looking to spend, I think like $80 is all they want for one of these. But what you do is you fill it up with beer and then you put it in your fucking oven. And then you got beer in your chicken. But, you know, you stick your chicken on there.
What? I remember what's his the one breeder talking about beer chicken, and I was like, what? That sounds nasty, but I guess that's the thing, huh?
No, these have been around for many, many years. Like this is probably a maybe a vintage 2000 or something like that, maybe 90s. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's dated. But then I got like a whole bunch of chip and dip bowls. Like here's just a plate one. These ones are heavy duty. Like this thing's probably like, I don't know. I'm straining to lift it right now. Like my muscles are fucking flexing. It's probably like, I don't know, like 12 pounds or something like that. Maybe more than that. But it's fucking, these go for like $75, I think. New. That's Lakes area pottery. So
Hey,
here we go.
do you have any shape like a hat? I want to be a nacho man.
Yeah, I got this is a
Nacho man.
Oh God, this thing's heavy.
this is the earring holder actually.
Oh, this is all Amsterdam shit.
And this goes for like $40 online.
Listen.
I know in my area, chip and dip bowl, yeah, that would sell because Avocadoville and
yeah, well, I've got glass ones too. Like this is a glass
Who
chip and
doesn't
dip.
like dip?
Or see if I can do this.
Or
Like
even
that.
veggie dip.
You know, there's your glass chip and dip. I've got a green Anchor Hawking one too, but I'm using the bowl for something else.
It's weird because like I've never had one of those, but like the few times I've had dip and chip, I've always thought, yeah, it'd be great if it's just one thing. Like normally it's like, oh, bowl of chips and then a bowl of
Oh yeah,
fucking
you
dip.
can fit a whole bag of chips in these bad boys.
Yeah,
I got
it is.
another one too. Yeah, there's a red one too.
That's more like for a party or something.
Oh yeah, you gotta have friends for that shit.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is all Amsterdam.
So
This
then we move on to
Thai shit.
this is Dick Lean from Minnesota. Not Lean Dick, Dick Lean.
Oh, Dick.
This is another Denny fucking McLaughlin, the Harvard professor
Oh,
or whatever.
silly
This
pond.
one's probably like $40 online, maybe 50. This little thing right here is the Linda what's it? Fuck. No, Joanna Joe Severson is what this is. This little fucking thing is probably like 50, $60 online. Here's a Tokheim pottery.
You know a lot about this shit.
This thing's probably $50 online. This one, and this one, and oh shit, where's my big one? I've got a fucking tote. I just realized that I've got a tote that's not fucking unpacked. Because I've got so this one right here is for some reason this thing only goes for $25 on eBay. Apparently. But this is
Can
like a fucking badass vintage fucking pot. You know, you can store your dreams. You can put farts in here and save them. You got to be quick. But this is probably like from the what does it say on there? They usually date these. I can't read it because I'm fucking upside down. 86 or something like that on that one. This one isn't. This is another the same. It's Joe or Hamilton. Joe and fucking John Hamilton. I forget what the guy's name. But this one is for probably $50, maybe 60 on eBay because the deer is better. They got a whole bunch of different animals they put on them. And what do we got? Fucking keep your butter fresh. Or like here's something different. Fucking
you got something in my pocket.
anyone ever use a butter bell? That's what this thing is.
Can't
You
say
fucking-
that I have.
you do is you take got a thing inside there. So you pack this with your butter, and you put water in the base. And then when you put your butter in the water, it becomes airtight and your butter doesn't spoil. Butterbell. Here's a fucking for putting a smudge stick or whatever with people that do that crazy that fucking what is it?
Native American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
That'd be
Yeah.
good for Green Goddess. I think she does smudging.
There's a badass fucking lily pot. I bet my other Hamilton jar is in here. Oh, there's the lid I was looking for that thing. Everyone wants that one, but they never want to pay for it. Okay, so here's my good. There's my other Hamilton one. I was getting scared for a second there. But this Hamilton one is probably like a fucking I don't know, I've never seen one that's that big on eBay yet. So I'd say maybe $80. He's a fucking honker. But you can throw this thing in the oven. You can make a casserole in there. Or fucking whatever the fuck you want. Throw some hamburger and pea in it.
Welcome
That
to
one.
the hardcore swap and shop.
Yeah.
And
Throw me
here's
up.
your
I'll take offers on this shit. I ship 48 across the country, actually, or the world. This is I forget his first name, but Hunt. This thing's like a fucking
Michael.
gotta be $60 on eBay. Here we've got this is the Johnson, I want to say. Nope. I can't read it because I'm fucking everything's melty. I forget who made that, but still you're looking at a fucking $40 jar. Crazy how much some of these things go for. But at the same time, like no one wants to pay for that, here. Except for like my best customers will be the actual collectors that know what things are worth. And they've snagged a lot of my good shit, like the stuff where it was like this is a Willem Gebbin from Wisconsin. This one you're looking at maybe 50, $60 for this little fucking vase. If this was a Warren McKenzie, you'd be looking at $100 or more. If it was a fucking Shoji Hamada, you'd be looking at fucking way more than that. This one is Bob Parker. This is an unassuming little fucking $40 bud vase. Fucking crazy. It keeps going on and on. This
Dude.
I just found who that was today. I haven't been if anyone knows who this fucking Nova some shit. This thing's fucking crazy. It's a what do you call them?
Unachode.
A candle a votive or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it's got nighttime. Like there's a moon, stars, and everyone's like happy, and then on the other side it's the sunrise. But it's really dainty, so I don't want to fucking. And I got some fake candles from the dollar store I put in there. Cool, you didn't it? And the funny thing is like the most ugly things in here that look like a kindergartner did it. I mean, this is like some fucking truly Japanese. I guess this is a calendar.
Oh,
stars. I don't know. And then, but a lot of these things too are like, these things look like they're just childish, but they're fucking, I don't know, mastered it. This chick's from Minnesota, I forget her name though. And we've got piggy bank. Everyone's got to have a piggy bank. $20. Send me $20. I'll send you the fucking bank. Plus shipping. Probably $12 for that thing. Here we got a bunch of Deneen pottery. I mean, this, like the plates probably go for $20 a piece. This fucking, what do you call it? Not a vase, maybe a ewer, not a ewer. These are ewers, I think they call them. They're like not quite a pitcher, because this is a pitcher. But if she's got the neck on there, I think that makes it a ewer. Because you were gay. Here's another
if
little
you
quick
had a big neck on it, should be a
crazy
catcher.
picture. But like these are all studio pottery. Where like if you see the bottoms on them, they'll have this a lot of times what's called a thumbprint. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's like looks like round, like tree logs or tree rings almost. That's from when they take their wire to cut the fucking their shit off. I don't know. Here's what I'm mugging right now. Ice and my cherry coke. Crazy
Oh.
chicken. I don't know. See if I can see any other names come to my head here when I'm looking at shit. Here's the fucking. This is a drinking horn. It's a cup that you have. It's got a little lace that you tie it to your fucking shirt collar with or whatever. But once you fill it, you can't stop. You can't put it down. You got to drink it.
Do you have any
Stay-
Debbie Tavises?
I do not think so.
Oh.
I do not know. Or here's the fucking. What the fuck? God damn it! I can't think of his name. $40, fucking $50. Some of these birds are crazy, fucking stupid. Like this little owl is probably worth $60, I think, when I looked them up. Just because the artist, I got 30 marked on it, so it's probably worth 60. That's one. I always take. I always swap back and forth from like marking shit and not marking shit, and I prefer to not mark it because then I can like base my prices depending on the customer and shit. But here's an Anthony. This is one of my most badass things. An Anthony Huwander from Minneapolis, Ash Pottery. You're looking to spend $75 for this little tumbler if you want to go buy it from his website. But it feels like fucking so cool. I don't think I've ever drank out of it yet. Probably should do that. Or here's one of my favorite Deneen fucking Grafito. Fucking chalices.
Here's something. If you guys ever see anything like this is wrapped wire. Okay. And it's actually made to hold like a letter on a desk. These go for about $150 now. But I noticed that I was off when I showed this. This is the movie for Mr. Nice, which is Howard Marks or Sparrowhawk to those that have actually followed. If you go to Mr. Nice Seed Company, this is the guy that started it.
These are all Apple Bakers. These are the original. These ones are from the original Apple Baker. But these ones are knockoffs that I think are better.
I want Tip Dip now, Cardboard. Thanks a lot.
These are quiche plates. Kind of like a pie plate, but they're wavy. Think that makes it a quiche plate? I don't know. I'm probably wrong. Let's see what else we got going on.
This one's
What else?
old.
We got fucking
E.R. Bloomquist, M.D. This should be like 1969. 1968.
You were close, Cap.
This
It's
is
a pretty
Charles.
thick book too.
This is Charles Halling from Minneapolis. He was a teacher at the U of M, I believe. I sold the matching bowl or plate to this. There was a 15-inch platter for $1,200, I think.
Wow.
This bowl is like a
Screw
$400 bowl.
enough.
But he wouldn't. My Padre guy wouldn't take it. Like there's a guy that like my higher end shit. I give to, or I give to pretty much. Yeah, that's the right word. But this one does it. He says that there's an internal crack in it because when you rap on it, it duds instead of chimes.
It doesn't ting.
Yeah. Fucking. Here we got. I like these ones. These are oil drops pattern. This looks like fucking some trippy shit, like an eye.
Holy shit,
Here's
Cap.
another-
Bill Drake. This was 250. This one's going to be 69. No.
Ah,
Holy shit. This is the 5th printing, 1978.
Wow.
I should have a couple more of these.
Is this signed?
No, it's not signed.
Oh.
let's see.
I'm not even, I've
I got it.
only gone through one tub.
One of the things that you wouldn't. Here's one that'll trip you out.
Oh, ow. All right, time to smoke another joint.
$50 for that? For just this little tiny elephant? Or I know in here there's some Murano fucking. Yeah, we'll bust out some Murano here.
Oh, here's a book for you all. Out of My Mind. Richard Neville.
Is that like the Neville from Hayes or whatever?
Sensi Seas? Yes, it is.
There's the other half of the Anchor Hocking chip and dip. Got a lot of green going on right now.
I'm smoking good.
This little painting that I paid fucking $3 for at the thrift store like 3 years ago. Apparently it was made by some
I got one for you.
retired teacher lady from Texas. Started fucking busting these things out when she started painting when she was like 80. And this little thing is like fucking, I can't remember. They go for like $300 or $400 or something like that online. Once again, I don't know. I gotta just bite the bullet and pay fucking eBay again.
There you go.
Does it feel
There's
like
a
we're
Peter
between
Marks.
dueling collectors?
Here's a Peter Marks. It's signed in 2 spots. One down here and one up at the top. For you that may not understand Peter Marks, he did a lot of acid art back in the 60s, and he became like almost as popular as Warhol. Yeah, if you need any type of wristband, I got all colors. I'm actually going to do a post on all the different wristbands I have.
Oh, I need a fucking garbage bin. Second bin. I always need a second bin near hand. I'll give you a little lesson on Bullacante. Okay, so that's controlled bubbles is what it's called. They see all the little bubbles in there. Maybe not. They're kind of sporadic, right? They're
Yeah,
You know,
that one's sporadic. Those aren't that great.
they're aiming for a pattern, you know, but they didn't. They're just kind of there. This one's even a worse example of that. I mean, it's made in China. I mean, almost 100%.
Oh,
Yeah, and then the bottom isn't smooth, so that's a dead giveaway. It's not Murano.
pick your round eye.
Here's some Murano Bullacante, where
I bet you that one's perfect.
yeah, I don't know how I can fucking make it show up on this. There you can kind of see it there. It looks like a fucking computer did it, right? Fucking all the swirls in there, the bubbles are just done like fucking yeah, it's like a computer did it. Because if one of those bubbles would have been in the wrong spot, just a little bit out of place, they would have had to break it on the ground because it wouldn't have been able to leave Murano. Because fucking Murano glass is usually pretty fucking perfect, and it's usually almost always got that smooth bottom like that, polished ponto they call it. But like this one, I think it's only for some dumb reason. I think this was only like a $25 fucking ashtray. Fucking
Here you go, bud.
Cranberry Bullacante.
My friend took this picture. It's from one of the Ohio shows,
Yeah, the
and she's a professional photographer. This came out on, it's a double exposure on one frame of film. This was one frame on the roll, and it's Jerry in double exposure.
That's cool.
Fuck
Right on.
yeah, it is. This is the piece I keep in my bedroom.
Did anyone ever watch that show Northern Exposure? Them Canadian
No.
crazy guys.
You should
watch
see
that
the
shit, dude?
Santana one I have too.
I couldn't stand that show.
It was on at like 3 in the morning or some shit. For me, anyways, it was.
There's Bobby
Someone
and
took-
Phil.
Fucking
Oh, you
God,
can't
they're
see
stuff
them.
good.
Oh fuck. Oh, these are the mushrooms.
Yeah, this drugs are slowing time down because like, I'm surprised it's only midnight here. The band's probably still gonna be
Okay.
going 45.
So this is actually a really big Viking glass mushroom.
Boy, that's
But this is not part of the regular
$400.
mushroom sets. This one is different.
No, that's like a $400, right? You look it up?
Yeah.
I guess it's $400 on it.
You're pretty damn close because the Viking sets of 4 are bringing $250 now.
Oh,
And I
I'm well
probably
aware.
have a couple of those over here still. Let's see what
I
this
know I
one
have
is.
Viking glass. I just don't know off the top of my head what. Because I'm holy shit. I'm really starting to fucking. It's
Oh,
still
yeah, but-
intensifying.
There's a little one,
Oh,
but it's completely different than the other one.
Did the feeling we just barely scratched the surface here. Brian's getting ready with the whole other fucking collection, something else.
What do you got?
Hey, at
Bottom.
least I'm
Yeah,
showing you fucking cannabis shit from Amsterdam and stuff.
I've got.
These are really expensive too. These are Cleveland Indians from 1948.
What does that have to do with marijuana? They weren't getting stolen in 48 in Cleveland.
Oh, I better take the $2 price sticker off of that one too.
Ooh, there's another fucking Murano
That'll
glass.
get sold tomorrow.
Pinched
I
amber
don't
glass.
know.
insert?
I joined the Blinko Club, and everybody wants to buy quite a few of my pieces.
Blanco, you say, huh? You know,
Yeah.
a Blanco ashtray is what got me started collecting. Just because you said that, I'm gonna have to go. My truck is like 2 blocks away, but I'm gonna go get that ashtray just to show you. Because you just struck a chord in my heart when you said Blanco. Here's a sad Blanco story. I was just talking about Bullacante. This big old beast right here is a Blanco. It had the sticker on. I even fucking got. I can see the sticker, the wear around the sticker. But I don't know if you can see that there, but she's got critical damage on her. She's not fucking going anywhere. I actually took silicone on the inside of it and fucking
Oh wow, you ruined it.
gave her a little bit of a fucking chance to live another day. But she's a broken. She's worth $0 now. But it's going to it. I had it in the free file last week and no one took it. Right on the side of the street there. Kind of surprised me. I thought it was. I don't know.
That with those.
Yeah, I have like certain ashtrays. It's a certain kind I like that's glass.
I just
I have
sold a
the
Viking.
small one on my desk here, but I have the bigger one. I'd find them on eBay. I would pay whatever because one time they broke, but they're like from whatever year, the original ones.
I just
I'll show it to you.
sadly I just sold a. It was an Amberina crackle glass. It's called, or it's like a tangerine orange, and it was big. The fucking thing was like, I don't know, got to be like 12 inches wide, maybe 13 inches wide, something like that, and like 4 inches tall. And it was crackle glass. Where like, I don't have any right on hand near me, but well, I do in here somewhere. But it was this orange crack. Here, right? Fucking, god damn, I'm good. This is crackle glass right here, where it looks like it's cracked. Like they actually like break it or something like that in the process of making it. But it was like a bright orange fucking Viking ashtray.
Christmas cards.
And I wanted 15 for it. And 15 for something else, but all she had was $40. So she gave me $40 for both of them. So I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Cause she knew what kind of deals I was giving her. So fucking, she was glad to pay a third of what they're worth. But yeah, I think that one I had, that was like a fucking, God, I'm sad to say, I don't even want to know what it was when I looked up. But here's a triple Sommerso, Flagio Poly. I can't, Flavio Poly maybe? Triple Sommerso, where it's got clear glass and yellow glass and green glass. It's hard to see it.
So he's going to show you the small stuff. This is Blanco.
That's
This
the same
is
thing.
a
It's a Bullacante.
16-inch, 18-inch base.
That's the exact same thing I just showed you, dude. That red one, my broken one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
do
got the
you
control
have?
bubbles in it. That's a Bullacante vase. I
Well,
could tell you the model number.
yeah, these are pretty good now. You can tell the way you can tell them is by the stem cap, because they're not marked any other way except for 2 years where they etched them in the bottom. They etched their name. The
Like
rest
on
of
the
them are
blue-
just stickers.
I've got a
Now, the
blue one
only
here.
thing missing from this content is we don't have an
No.
auctioneer. We need somebody like I don't know who. I couldn't do it, and then go, okay, do we have 10? Anyone bid 12?
Here's some Czechoslovakian glass. Got a really cool fucking. You can't really
Is
see
it
the
marked check on the bottom?
No, it's not marked, but it's just what I've been able to
Okay. No,
to dissertain about it.
all my pieces are marked on the bottom, Czechoslovakia. My
I could be wrong.
grandmother
It's
was
some-
from Czechoslovakia, so I collect this.
I could have
And
missed both.
the really good one is downstairs with the $900 mushrooms that I bought the other day. I bought 2 Stu Ben glass mushrooms for $900.
Oh yeah, that's German or English? I think it's German, right? Steuben?
Steuben glass, yeah.
Um,
It's not cheap, that's for sure. But they weren't big, they weren't small. They're like probably 14 to 16-inch mushrooms. I figure I could probably get about 1900 for them. But
how many
they want
baht is
my
that?
collection.
I haven't asked you that in a while.
Don't know. I don't know. I just look at my bank account and I keep seeing it go up. So all I know is I'm getting paid for paper. Okay, what
Yeah,
joint
that's
was
America.
this? Fuck me.
Ooh.
Okay, I
Here's one
can't
of
smoke that joint. I can smoke
What-
this one though.
one of the rare instances where Murano doesn't have a polished bottom. On one of the- But this has got real gold in it, gold flecks. This little guy's like, he's $100 new clown. This is a little.
Diacrylic is what that is. With the gold flakes and this, well, that make up the different colors. They just
forget
add
that
more of the gold.
There's an Italian term for it. I forget what it is. They got a term for all of their fucking processes. Or at least the common one.
Diacrylic. Diacrylic.
Well, no, because that's not Italian. It would be like Bollicante or Sommerso or other ones that I can't think of at the moment. Here's the fucking John Coiner. He was partners with Deneen Pottery in the beginning. This is a pretty badass ashtray, and it's actually technically it's a matchstick holder, and like this part right here, well, it's rough like sandpaper, and you can stick a match on it. $20 from like 90 or something. The 90s.
Hey, ragazza, go fangul.
Ooh, here we
Hey,
got
I'm
some one.
sorry. Most of the stuff I showed you guys, except for some of the sports stuff, is not for sale. This is part of my personal collection.
Well,
Oh,
I'm brokered and fucking a joke, so I don't even have any weed. So yeah, everything's for sale, fire sale. This is a fucking Seguso. What is it?
Let's see this.
Flavio
Let's see the mark on the bottom.
It's not. This one isn't signed. They're not
Okay,
always signed.
then no.
No, it's a Viente. What is it? I just sold a vase back to Italy.
Saraguso marks everything he has. You should see the frog I have.
No, they don't know.
I have the frog and the Chinaman.
I'm trying to think of the artist. It's an artist for Seguso. It's a Vinny the Vinny something line. Vinny Diarte. Vinny
Yeah,
Diarte?
I don't
Like-
fuck with that.
But like this teardrop face. Well, I just sold an amber Sommerso centerpiece like bowl for, we'll say 3 digit or 6 I'm trying to say. Sold it for fucking almost $1,000 back to Italy. But it's by the same same catalog as this cranberry teardrop, little unassuming little $300 fucking, or maybe not. It could be as cheap as $80, but
Saraguso worked with really big glass, really heavy glass.
not always. There's a whole product catalog lines of them. So here's some yeah, because the catalog that I'm talking about is something de arte. I don't know. I'm fucking I'm kind of tripping. This is some
I
Fenton.
paid 350 for that frog.
This is a dolphin handled lidded candy dish from. They only made it in 1 year, I think. So this is like a little, I think $60. I'd sell it for 20 if someone gave me a $20 bill right now. Or else because I'll probably end up breaking it anyway. Sooner or later, that's how they all fucking.
Yeah, I cleared the stuff up underneath the steps, and my mom says, "What's that over there?" Because it was a really heavy plastic bag. And I said, about 4 broken pieces of glass.
Yeah, you don't want. Oh man, this weekend alone, I broke so many. Big bowls is what got me this weekend. I don't got big balls anymore. I do, but I had a couple
Well,
go to the
guys,
wayside.
I'm gonna have to get off here. I gotta get up in the morning. I have to be over at this national show at 10 a.m. for my meeting.
We'll show you one
I'm gonna
more. I
go
think
whore myself out. Use the knowledge for power and the knowledge for money. Keep up with the hustle, guys. Peace.
Cheers. Right on the 20. I can hear I think the music may have stopped. I don't go to the bar anymore. I can't even remember when. I don't know. I think last call is at 1. I think they kick them out at like 1:15 or something like that. So that's like damn near an hour away from now. But the people are starting to move. We got foot soldiers. Here's some fake Murano glass. I think it's even called Murano Glass Company from China. But it's still a little. They still pay like $40 for that little thing on the eBay. Yeah, it's getting windy, and I'm gonna get newspaper fucking. All over the place. And I gotta turn my fucking headlight off because I'm like a beacon. Where'd Bud go? Oh, there he is. He's walking around.
Yeah.
Bud's in the glowing room.
I'm here. I don't know. I started defoliating some. Got a lot of work to do. But I got actually out of all the projects, the dreadedest one is defoliating. It's like constant. When plants are healthy, the more you take off, the more they put on. I don't think you can hear it, but that band's shredding. They're having a hell of a party over there.
Have you ever been able to hear the music in my background?
No.
It's kind of crazy. So like 3 blocks that way is the city park where they got like an open air concert thing. Where most of the people are at. I mean, there's probably there's got to be 1,000 people down there maybe, but they fucking I've been hearing that all night long, like it was like just like a radio turned on quietly. That's like 3 blocks away. Yet half a block that way, there's a bar that's got live music, and I'm just now hearing them now that band quit. That's how much they were overpowering the fucking the bar band.
What kind of live music at bar?
Huh? Well,
What-
both
what-
bands I'm assuming are just covering old. Like the one that was at the park was just covering like fucking rock songs from the fucking 70s and 80s.
Damn, it's weird. There's a train out here, and then where I live on the coast, there's the coastliner train. There's been more accidents and more traffic that crosses the tracks down on the beach. Out here, it's all fenced in. There's not, there's nobody. I've ever seen anybody on the tracks. Maybe whatever. But one's like a rich neighborhood, one's not. Yeah, the horn, they stop from around midnight to 4 a.m. going both ways. They honk the horn the whole way. This loud ass fucking horn. On this side, it's all warehouses, no big deal. The other side's houses, right? like, like you just get used to it. On the coast, oh, the trains go by even more, and all night they have big long ones that go. Yeah, they don't honk a horn at all. And I asked my roommate over there, Gary.
That's what she
He's like,
said.
oh yeah, the coastal communities had some like thing where people voted or something happened, and yeah, they made now at the crossings it dings, but oh no, they don't honk their horn. Over here in the ghetto, oh, they honk the horn the whole way.
Yeah, my storage unit is up by the train tracks where they got like a switching yard there, and it's just fucking boom, bang, crash all fucking night long. And then like, not me in particular, but someone that I know that's got a fucking storage unit there. Apparently they were there at like fucking, I don't know, it was after midnight, and they were making noise apparently. And one of the guys came out and just fucking bitched him out and was threatening to call the cops on him and shit. He's like, I'm not doing anything fucking illegal here. I'm fucking whatever. I mean, he was doing some crackhead shit, whatever he's doing, but still, it's like there's no way I can be louder than these trains fucking crashing in, decoupling and shit and coupling up with each other, fucking a block away. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I can feel the energy right now, fucking.
I've done some crazy shit beyond Toward Dead and all that. But like I've heard these stories recently on Lex Friedman. He interviewed this guy that just won Alive 6. That's that really gnarly survival show. And the guy told his life story. He said, because his older brother was like this hobo guy that for years, like part of like what led him to be so good at survival was like from the time I guess he got out of high school and his brother was already a hobo that just basically traveled the trains. And then he went with his older brother for like 5 or 6 years. And he talks about all these characters they knew out there. But like, he said he was out there for all those years and like him and his brother like did not ever want to like hitchhike or do anything but ride the train. So if you couldn't get there by the train, that they didn't go. But other than that, they went to like everywhere. They just lived on the trains. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, and I've heard other stories, like hobo stories. Like there are currently people that homeless or whatever. They're not homeless. They choose to be out there riding the fucking trains. Like that's gnarly. Like just getting
I've
on.
been out of my truck right now for the past couple months, if I'm being honest. But fucking, these are let that one slip. Whoops. um. Yep, there's gonna be some lovely ladies.
Oh shit. Sorry to hear that, Christoph.
What happened with Christoph?
It looks like his dad passed away.
Well, my condolences,
Yeah, sure.
Stephen Clay.
Make forest, Christoph, man.
God damn! Holy shit! How can they walk around like that? That should be illegal. Fuck me. Yeah, I don't know, man. The world's a changing. I don't think that chick was any close. They were painted on, if anything.
Mm. Things are always going to get better. That's the way it works. And the struggle, oh, that's all part of like, yeah, that's guess builds character, whatever the fuck. Struggles are all part of it too.
Oh, I'm a junkyard dog, motherfucker.
I used to think or say that like, yeah, how would you know if it was good unless you went through the bad? Like if you never had any bad, well then you wouldn't
Oh,
even know it was good, right?
What happens when the silver spoon falls out of your mouth and you find yourself have to fucking eat a tree bark or something like that? I don't know what I'm fucking trying to say. I'm not out here killing squirrels, guys. It's okay. I'm good. God, it's fucking warm, man. It's fucking windy out. It's fucking midnight, and it's fucking I've got sweat on my armpits. A lot of people with an American education think that Minnesota has polar bears and never thaws out.
educated?
I saw a thing like on Instagram. I knew about tiny horses. I took care of some for months at the ranch. Uh, now they have a new one. They're tiny cows, and literally they're like just this big. Like that's as big as they get. Like I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like
Then they
sometimes
make
I
them like house pets or what?
Instagram a lot of fucking shit that I guess because I look at it. It's animal stuff, pet stuff. Some of it's ridiculous, like state Asian accounts. Like I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You might what did you have to do to your dog to get it to do that? God damn. Right.
My
And then
neighbor
there's
had a
other
tiger.
ones, like actually some of the best ones is when they have some little camera on the collar of a cat. And then they like show you what a cat like on the prowl does. You're like, holy shit, cats are fucking crazy out there, dude. They do some
I think I just
crazy
heard a car
stuff.
accident. There was a big crash boom bang just a second ago. Coming from the vicinity of my truck too.
Uh-uh.
Even somehow because it knows I took care of Azores, right? I get these weird things where then somebody has like this rare Zors that is basically pure black all on the top, and just its legs have the zebra stripes. And I'm like, damn.
Isn't that their skin too a stripe and not their hair? Or how does that work? I can't remember.
Well, there's also some like all kinds of weird animals out there. Like one like Instagram, that's like well, music part pretty cool. Cannabis is all right. But the coolest shit that comes that makes like I don't know, gives me enjoyment is all this animal stuff. I'm like, yeah, keep that shit coming. Like that's the best mindless shit. Like people with some people with dogs, especially like somehow. I used to have a couple of golden retrievers in my life. Yeah, those dogs are some of the smartest fucking dogs ever. And then there's certain content I've seen where like, yep, smartest fucking dogs ever.
I'll find you an animal picture here.
Actually,
what I
the craziest thing I saw was crazy horse. It was, of course, in Florida, and there was this huge. I mean, it had to have been like 8 foot, 10 foot, huge alligator or whatever, like up on the land in his pasture, like. And yeah, first he came and fucking did the back stomp on the tail end. Then he circled around and literally stomped this fucking guy's head. Killed it right there. I was like, holy shit, it was pretty brutal. But that horse wasn't fucking around. Like the horse like straight killed the fucking alligator. It's no problem.
Yeah, cows will kill a fucking. You don't want to get close to a cow.
Well, there's like animal pecking order, right? Sometimes the baddest ass thing, it can get beat by something, right? Like even what is it? A mongoose can fuck up a cobra, right?
I just saw this thing where it was just a fucking like a video short or whatever, where they said I found my lost donkey a year later, and it got adopted by a herd of fucking caribou or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's like a
Here's
donkey.
the herd of caribou, and there's a
Someone's
fucking donkey
pet
running
that
around.
got away and then is happily living with a herd of fucking elk. And yep, just roaming around with them. He's part of it. Like animals are that way. Like there's all kinds of cases like where, yeah, I saw one gnarly tiger. Now they were kittens, and somehow this dog, like, oh, they didn't have their mother. They were rescued. And the dog, and it was like a collie kind of dog, mothered him. And then now, like, they protect him. Like, you see that, like, oh, he's out and about in this enclosure that has other tigers and shit. They get pretty rambunctious and are fucking crazy. Yeah, like one of the other tigers fucked with the dog that the ones he mothered, like go and kick their ass and save it.
Here's a dog that looks like what's his name, the actor, fucking Clear and Present Danger.
A funny one I saw today. I think it was like a researchers, like literally they have this bird in, and it's supposedly some rare bird because it was peregrine or something that's white, right? It's white, and somehow it was yellow, like bright yellow, and then it took them a couple days, and they figured out that the bird was coated in fur, right? And it wasn't really a yellow or whatever. It was just somehow the whole bird was like coated in furry and dyed bright yellow.
My dad can beat up your dad. Look at the pipes on that guy. Look
Yeah,
at
that,
the socks
hey,
I got
some
on
of
there.
that shit you don't even know if it's true, right? Like,
It's
everyone's
almost like
trying to
Photoshop, but it's
click,
not.
click, but like, there's some funny stuff when it comes to animals. Like that, I think that's the best content on the Instagram or whatever the fuck, wherever you get.
This is my neighbor.
I don't even know what TikTok is, but I guess a lot of shit starts there.
This was my neighbor's pet tiger when I was fucking a kid, and this is in my house. We lived out in the middle of nowhere in the country, but he had a tiger, and he had black bears. He had a pot-bellied pig, and he had a whole pile of fucking blue and yellow macaws or something like that. They look like a parrot. They're basically a parrot. And then they just said swear words all day. Can't remember even what it was though. They're fucking stinky and they were fucking they kept in their little cages and they felt bad for them.
Yeah, like having parrots or yeah, cage
And like
birds.
their wings are clipped, so they even
if they have everything they need and all that. It's like their whole life. Somehow, when you hear them, like they make certain noises, like yeah, because like where I took care of these birds, all these other birds from nature used to come because there'd be like some of the food would like leak out of the cage and be on the ground. So like all these other birds that were free were like coming around and then flying off. And then I was like, yeah, that's fucked up. These birds never get to fly off. ever.
There's
And
Rocky.
some of them were like caged, like, yeah, they were over
Oh,
20 years old.
There's Rocky the squirrel, my pet squirrel, looking at the outdoors. There's that little guy.
mm,
Bottle fed him with the little teardrop thing when his eyes were closed and shit. Well, technically, I helped my mom do it. I'm stealing fucking valor here, but it's still like I could call it my name and shit. Run up and down you. Crazy. I've always wanted a pet skunk. Apparently, you can like, because like when I was, God, I must have been like maybe 16. Because it was when I was still in like beginning pot smoking and shit, and I was at a party and fucking oh gee, look at the lady. I'm sorry, no fucking. I was at a party and like a skunk came in the room and like everyone freaked out, but it just hopped up on the dude's lap and fucking it was like a fat cat. I think it even purred. If I wanted to say, I could be imagining that part though. But like
there's the
apparently he illegally had a skunk because like apparently it's hard to get it. Like a lot of states require a license and shit to own a skunk.
there's the mysterious brown fish.
I forget its name, but at my grandma's house when I was a kid, this baby squirrel fell out of the tree.
They don't keep a den for that long.
And then uh, my grandpa in retirement took care of like a chinchilla farm, right? So he already like, chinchilla for furs, right?
Yeah.
Somehow they kept this little baby in this cage that he had. And as the years went on, the squirrel got to be like super fat, right? So fat, it was like, holy fuck, is that even a squirrel? Right? And super nasty in the cage. Because yeah, it was like as a kid, I remember going, oh, and then the thing just went nuts basically. Because yeah, and even why it was so fat, because squirrels run around all day. So if you cage them, yeah, no, that don't work. Uh, yeah, it got like super mean. Like you even went near the cage and it would hiss and go crazy. Couldn't even stop.
Yeah.
Maybe
Have a good night, everybody.
The wild. Today I was in the pet store and looked around. They had some cool turtles, and bearded dragons, all these. Yeah, no, like I'm not in. Like cages are weird.
Yeah, I'd find the photos right now, but I'm a little bit. I don't know how I found the ones I just did. But the same neighbor that had these black bears, right? They lived in this fucking what is essentially like I don't know, like an 8-car garage or something like that. But there was only um like enough room to fucking or what am I trying to say? There was only like one like a single stall garage door worth of fucking an opening. It was like this canopy in part of the yard. And so then after like fucking I ended up working for this guy later in life, or whatever, fucking I don't know, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. And I came out and I remodeled their whole bear fucking enclosure or whatever. Where because he got a corn crib for cheap that has like it is open on the top. And so he installed this corn crib next to the building. And then we made like an opening to go out into the corn crib, which was like open grates so they could, and then like this, and they had no roof on it, so it was fucking there's like a, I don't know, 6 foot hole in the top or whatever. That like a,
Yeah, having a monkey would be cool, but they always turn mean too. They're not like, yeah, animals aren't meant to be like certain animals. Dogs are like they're like that's been their life for so many generations. But that's what they are. They're pet.
Yeah.
Other animals, nah, they're not really pets.
when I was in 8th grade, I had fucking my because we lived. I was his neighbor then. Again, like we were neighbors when I was young too. But fucking, I had to fucking shovel bear shit from these 2 black bears, and once a week it would fill up a fucking wheelbarrow, and I'd have to fill that wheelbarrow with fucking big snow shovel, and when I dumped that wheelbarrow over the hill, I don't know how I never puked. Every time I gagged so close, where it was just horrid. They fed them dog food. That was all they ate. Dog food and snuff. They liked fucking Copenhagen apparently. I was giving them his chews, but they'd eat anything you fucking put near them, pretty much.
Hey, if you look
Yeah.
into California's history, that's why the bear is our like California bear. Yeah, bears roamed all of California, all kinds. But then as whatever urbanization, whatever and human, yeah, there's still some bears way up in certain places, but yeah, no bears. Southern California, yeah, no bears.
We have black bears.
There's
I
a
don't think.
couple. There's a couple rural areas, and most of them all tagged. Same with the cats. Um,
Mountain lions or whatever.
like
We
even
have
right
some.
there in Griffin Park in L.A. and Hollywood, in that mountain range right there.
Yeah, I love that. Like, don't they have
There's
like
some gnarly
wildlife
cat.
crossings on the
Like even
interstate
I
and shit?
saw a story that some cat they can tell has been living there like all these years wasn't tagged because they have like this whole program and they know all the cats. And a couple times they've had to take them in, put them under or whatever because yeah, they started interacting in neighborhoods, whether it's trash or other dog
Or
animals,
not. Or the ocelot or
whatever.
something.
But then they know because they have these GPS trackers where they like, oh yeah, his pattern. Oh, after all these years, he now changed. Like it happened a couple years ago, and oh, he had a name and they knew him and all this, and he lived there for all these years. But then at the end, probably because he started getting old, couldn't hunt as good, so then he started, coming into the neighborhoods. And then they had to whatever animal services got involved, and they took him out.
Yeah. Yeah, it always becomes a big Facebook thing over here when
Even my friend Joel, who came here from Belgium, works taking care of those horses. The one horse that she was telling me about today is her favorite. She already knew some of this. There was a brand on it on behind its neck on its lower neck right there, and it was the brand from the BLM. And then it had a number. She contacted them weeks ago, and then they sent back the information. So like, yeah, she knew that horse was rounded up. It was a Mustang, rounded up. I forget the town she told me, but somewhere in Oregon in 2003, and then was in whatever BLM custody till 2006, where these people bought it, and then her boss bought that horse for his wife in 2011. And then there it is. And it was like labeled as a Mustang. It's a wild horse that there's a whole thing about that because just like we have like dogs and cats that get euthanized inside, what do you call it?
Kill shelters?
and stuff. Yeah, we basically take horses into custody, and then if no one buys them or whatever, and they're in these squalid condition, and they destroy so many of them a year. I don't know, population control, some fucking thing, but there's wild horses still. Like I think, well, fuck, let them be. But for some reason, yeah,
Wild horses. I
a
don't know.
bunch of horse people. Like I know about this. There's like a political action group. There's a whole thing to stop this process.
Did you have a horse girl in school?
And there's
Everyone
like
had the horse
horses,
girl that would run around and act like a
sometimes
horse.
they shoot them from fucking helicopters and shit. Like it's just fucking terrible. And they're not
But
like
did
these
you?
huge roaming packs. It's just like a few dozen horses living wild.
I suppose in LA they didn't have. Well, yeah, no, I suppose you did have horse girls, right? Girls that would like just that was their life. They were into horses, like let you know that they had a horse and everything, and they'd run around and
The problem is horses get old and they're pretty expensive to take care of.
yeah, I had fucking my other another chore that I had other than the bear shoveling shit was he had Percheron horses. I don't know if you know what they are. He had
I've heard of them.
Clydesdales too, because
Yeah.
like he had like a fucking Percherons are they're these super big fucking they would kick they're bigger than Clydesdales. They're
Yeah.
taller and shit. Like fucking
They haul logs.
yeah,
and
they're big fucking workhorses. Yeah.
bred to be that. I've seen some videos
Yeah,
where
he just bought
some of them are like, what fucking steroids you're giving that horse? You never seen a horse that muscular ever, but yeah.
I've got some logging sleighs from like the 1880s. One like the first one that I had, I actually dug out of the ground on a farm that I was reclaiming. Fucking like actually, I've got pictures of the fucking one of the fucking the knees they call it. It's like where the ski meets the frame or whatever. Fucking was like in a tree. I had to fucking chainsaw the tree out and shit. Like a fucking 12, 13-inch wide tree.
You know, when they
I
fly
don't
like
know. I'm guessing that it's like
super expensive horses, right? The way they have it now, they have a certain cargo planes and they have this like kind of like a container, right? And then goes right on the plane. It's the
like Dumbo dropped the movie.
But then, like when it's a top horse, first off, they have like their own passports and all this stuff. And in that container is like a compartment where the groom, the person that takes care of the horse, stays with the horse the whole flight. Right? Because yeah, the horse
That's
is a
gotta be
$1
that.
million horse and blah blah blah. And that's what happens. Like I saw the whole like, oh, all these horses had to fly to France for the big
Kind of like the Falcon Princess and shit.
Olympic, dressage and equestrian competitions, which is just started. I think it started today, but yeah, that's the highest level of horse competition. Like that's it. The only the best of the best from all around the world attempt that.
My great grandpa's little brother in Alexandria. That whole big thing.
You
That
dropped
might
out.
fucking My great great granduncle technically is what he was. My great great grandma's little brother. He started like the first like fairs and shit, like where they like he brought corn to school to have his kids fucking. Because basically, it was like back then the immigrants were like treated different and shit in schools because they would all, this is like the turn of the century, or whatever, fucking, or a lot of them like their parents, spoke German and shit at home and they didn't know, a lot of times they were fucking considered dumb because they didn't know full, English as well and shit. And something to do with the fact to bring pride to farming or something like that. He fucking would have the kids have a corn growing contest or whatever for school. And that became like the first 4-H things or whatever. But then he was actually like the president of like the national 4-H thing for many years. Like did a lot of work in the fucking Washington D.C. and shit, like hot lunches and all that crazy shit. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know about it.
Was a lot bigger thing back then. I think it's probably still exists in some form, but
Like this place right here. I fucking that was my great great grandpa. It was actually his uncle would have no, my great grandpa, I'm saying. Yeah, so his uncle was the guy that started 4-H. But he was this town's veterinarian from 1935 until he died in the 40s, late 40s. No, he made it to the 50s. And then the alcohol got him. But yeah, that was like he was the veterinarian when it was like that was like they had like I didn't even realize it till recently it kind of hit home when I was fucking realized they used to have a horse racing track in town here. Like I was looking at the old pictures where it was like fucking it looked like out of fucking what do you call it? Fucking Roman times and shit with the fucking two-wheel buggies and shit or whatever. The chariots. But yeah, like fucking yeah, it's like your car getting sick, you can't go to work. I don't know. I'm guessing this is gonna pick up here pretty quick. It looks like there's no this town as dead as it always is, but well, actually, it's really lively now compared to what it usually is. But I suppose last night,
Southern California had pretty strong horse racing community between Hollywood Park, Santa Anita, Los Alamos, Del Mar, which Del Mar
I
meet
tell you,
going on right now. But in the next couple of years, the new ownership of Santa Anita, they the price of real estate, whatever, they're selling the place, they're going to develop all that land. And so Santa Anita's shutting down. Hollywood Park got replaced with
hey, the bathroom's on the other side of the garbage can.
whatchamacallit,
I'm just joking. To go ahead. I'm fucking yeah.
the SoFi Stadium, right? And then wait, there's a couple other tracks. So like really the only track left is this. It will be Del Mar because they can't really sell it because it's on the fairgrounds. It's not like that. But then because all those other meets, because the way it worked is the horses from Southern California, which was pretty strong contingent, would go from one meet, like basically, then race at Hollywood Park, then race at Santa Anita. Like they were all scheduled like that. And now that those tracks are shut down, like place right out by me is called San Ray Downs. And like, oh, you don't even realize it, but it's like a boarding place where yeah, that's where all the fuck you never know which horse is worth $1 million around there. I have a couple friends that work there. Like it's a training facility. They have like a track, and my one friend for years, like she worked there for like 30, 40 years. She's
No,
the
I can still hear the band, but it sounds like
person.
they're playing
If
their
they
last
like
song.
do a whole like start gate, like it's training for race horses. So yeah, fucking 5 a.m. every fucking day. Well, I think they give her a couple days off. Yeah. She goes down there and does the swing, hits the thing, and the gates open, and they run.
Wouldn't that be thrilling to be the bunny in that scenario? You always
And
get
a
away.
couple of my other friends are like ex-jockeys or jockeys, but like they're washed up kind of jockeys. But then they get paid to ride training horses, where it's like, oh, they do it for so many hours, and it's only like I think 30 some bucks a ride, right? But
What other
okay,
options do
you
they have?
ride
Fucking-
like 8 horses a day or something. They actually have limits of how many horses you can ride a day. But you make a few hundred, but it's like kind of dangerous. Like these are horses in training. So, um, and these guys, well, they're all buff. They're these little miniature dudes that are like super buff, right? Like one thing about a jockey, like muscle per pound or whatever. Oh, they're up there. If you've ever like hung out with jockeys, you're like, damn, he might only be this little fucking guy, but he's ripped. Because to hold on to a fucking horse, you got to.
Oh, we got cops coming through. The cops are coming through. They're looking to see if there's any trouble going on.
I used to know a
Can
few
use a
people.
blinker.
Yeah,
What a
they
shame.
made enough money in the good years. It's all right. But yeah, they were big in the
You got
horse
him filming. See
racing
that?
game. But the horse racing game has died.
He just got something
Like
around the corner there.
my one friend Fabio tells me it's really because they made this gambling, like sports betting, legal, and then that's killed the action at the track. Um, used to be, yeah, horse racing was a gambler's paradise there. But now there's so many other things to gamble on, and you get to do it on your phone and blah 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 blah. People don't go to the track anymore to bet on the consistent. Oh, there's the big races, Kentucky Derby, this one and that one, Breeders' Cup. But on the day to day, yeah, horse tracks are hurt. People don't support it. It's kind of like SeaWorld. Because if you dig into like the nitty gritty of horse racing, it ain't pretty. All right. Since it's just you and me, and I got to do some work, so if there was a few of us, then I could mute and do the work. But it wouldn't
Like-
make sense to do that.
Doorbell shit gonna be happening pretty soon.
Actually, it's pretty early. It's only 11, so yeah, no procrastinating tonight. I got to get in there, defoliate a couple trades.
I wonder how many times.
That's the reason I came here. Sometimes I come here with plans to do X, Y, and Z, and then whatever happens, I don't do it. I check on everything and then go home. I'm like, oh. But when push comes to shove, oh no. I know my little windows. Some nights I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. It's all right. No one knows the difference but me. But all those little projects, they make a difference. Yeah. They make a difference. All right. Let's see everyone Tuesday. Nice. I liked all the pottery. If my wife was still around and she saw that, I could spot a couple things she would have tried to get from me.
All sorts of cops
She
up the
was-
bar.
She was really into that shit. Like
I don't
yeah,
think I'm
that
going to
was
the bar.
she was enough collector for the both of us. I just let her do that. Like that was like fuck, there was no room to keep anything else. She would fill every space we had, extra rooms, garages, sheds. It didn't matter because like once she saw shit, she bought it, and she would always say it's vintage. She knew antiques too. It's not so easy to get antiques, but she scoured thrift shops. And she knew what days, and she had relationships with the people that worked there, and even it would embarrass me. Most of the time I didn't go with her, but I was with her a few times where like, yeah, the people would say, okay, this is this much, this much, this,
Oh yeah, that's what I.
and then no matter what deal it was
Yeah.
just part of her thing. Even though like it was like she was only going to spend like $28, and she would negotiate it down to 24, right? So it was always a negotiation, and it wasn't like we were short money in those years at all, right? I used to think, at least because I had other friends that had wives that had much more expensive tastes, like jewelry, clothing, makeup. My wife wasn't into all that shit, but she went thrift shopping all the time, and that was her thing. But it was literally like the change in the fucking counter, that's like, because it wasn't about, yeah, and she knew how, she was like you, she knew stuff, like, she knew stuff. She was a florist, so she went after certain vases, and she'd find vases that were like worth a lot of money.
Yeah, it's crazy what some.
Because the area we live in is like a known kind of older people area, and
Yeah,
like an estate sale there. Oh yeah, and a lot of those people, because most of the thrift shops were like associated with the church, right?
yeah.
It was like yeah, and certain people that were in that church when they passed on, they just put everything in the thrift shop. That was the way they.
Yep. Kind of like here, it's all.
Yes, that people used to come from out of town, like travel from wherever, because this little town like known as a hot spot for a thrift shop for like finding collectible shit.
Yeah. So Minnesota has a pretty like a rich pottery history. There's a lot of like famous potters that
Well, I imagine when you were showing that,
we're gonna start getting crazy now.
even my old boss was into
I'm gonna
these
set my phone
fucking
down so it doesn't fucking.
collectible horses. And sure enough, there was like their own little like miniature eBay thing. There was like a whole online community based around collecting these fucking horses, right? Pottery is a huge thing. I'm sure there's a massive community of people, just like crystal people, a whole
This
bunch
guy.
of collectible stuff. I'm sure you're already aware of it. That's how you know so much about it, because yeah, people have been collecting pottery for a long time, right? It's some of like when we find relics in fucking Egypt and all these places, most of it's pottery, even American Indian history, pottery tells us a lot about our history, right? But all right, have a good rest of the weekend, everyone. I think Ryan froze again. All right, now he's back again. All right, Ryan, we're saying goodbye.
All right, take her easy.
Have a good
You're
night.
gonna miss the flood of people.
Yeah,
Oh, well, you've seen people before.
yeah.
Take her easy, everyone.
All right, good night.